and sit down.
Hello again, Colin here. Festa 67's workshop.
I don't know what that was.
Yeah, and Fox, the model making guru.
Hello,
for another
everybody. Hello.
fun-filled Friday frolic with Festa and Foxx.
That's too many F's without saying a swear word.
I know, I'm doing well though. I'm doing well. God, it's a bit hot and all, isn't it? I'm going to lose me hat because it's.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I'm slightly moist in various regions, and not for any of the right reasons. So.
Are you moist?
I am, and I can't get near the microphone. Moist.
Anyway, Wayne Ward is in 56 minutes to go. He says, "Hooray! Hello, mate. How are you?"
Wait, what? 56 minutes to go till what?
56 minutes to go until the show day was in early, mate.
Oh, right. That is early.
Yeah,
a bit like me. I
was in. Yeah,
a bit like me saying to Colin earlier on. I said, "I'll be a few minutes late because I'm just uploading a video." Oh wait, it's only 10:30. Oh yeah,
you did it again, didn't you? You was an hour ahead of yourself.
I know. It's like turning up at Telford a week early. It's ridiculous.
I know these things happen.
Who do that?
Yeah. Hello, Wayne Ward and Sprue and Glue. 42
Hello.
minutes to go, says Wendy.
42 minutes to go.
Graham Roberts in saying hello to Festa, even Fox, and everyone
Even
in the
Gloucester,
chat.
Mr. Foster.
I can't, honestly, reading out loud, who'd have thought it, eh?
Do we need to just stop and restart? Do you want to go out and come in again?
Nah, I've got comfortable now, and not only that, if I get up, you'll see that I'm only in my boxers, and it's not pretty sight. With the fan on at strategic angles. Anyway, Graham Roberts saying hello to Wendy.
Full angles.
Wendy Hickson saying hello to Festa and Fox.
Hello, Wendy. Graham
says, I hope there's no trouser coughs in this stream, as Dad letting one go on the live stream. Oh, excuse me. I'm live again.
Has Dad been parping on the internet again?
Oh, yeah, he always does, mate.
That's true.
He did one during the week. He thought his mic was muted and it wasn't.
Again?
Yeah. Graham Roberts saying hello to Wayne.
I don't know why it just doesn't bother and just assumes it's live and just goes with it.
Oh, just go with the flow, mate. Yeah. Brian Windmill's in saying hello. Hello, Brian. All right,
Brian.
As is Edward Leonard. Brian was asking who's late. And Johnny said, Fox as usual. Yeah,
I'm not late.
Well, at one point, I had YouTube showing 0 on the counter. And then it went back to showing 15 on the counter. And it's like, okay.
Well, you never trust YouTube's numbers.
No.
YouTube doesn't understand numbers.
Edward was saying maybe Colin's dropping the kids off at the pool. This was at 11:30 when mine was showing... Yeah, mine was showing 0 on the counter, and then a couple of minutes later, it said 15 minutes to go. I'm like, okay, what's going on?
I love it when it says it's like 9 o'clock, and it says the stream starts at 10, 4 hours to go. Wait, what?
Yeah, very confusing. I'm sitting there, I'm looking at it, and I'm like, I know I had the date on there wrong earlier in the day, and I'm looking at it, and I'm going, no, it's starting at 23:55. I'd looked in StreamYard, yeah, it was set.
I've just remembered that I forgot to cancel my stream on YouTube today, so people would have been sat there waiting for it to start. Oh,
yes, you did. Yeah.
Sorry, I did cancel it, but I forgot to actually cancel it on YouTube. Oh, you fool.
Yeah, you are a chud, aren't you, mate?
Yeah, pretty much.
Wayne saying, what the juice? Where's Colin? I'm here.
Yes.
You have to remember, folks, as he's driving.
You have to remember, you don't get a big, long 15-minute countdown with Colin. You just go live just before midnight. So.
Well, yeah, it's one of those. I've got a 5-minute count all set up. But the thing with StreamYard, when you activate it, it mutes everyone's mics that are in the pre-show hangout.
Yeah.
So you can't sit there and have a chat. You're like...
Yeah, so we can't do that for this show. So it just goes live around about midnight, so...
Yeah, just around about midnight.
Yeah.
So bear with it, folks. It's just one of them things.
You get what you're given and you like it, basically.
Absolutely. I mean, if I was to do it on Slobs, which I've got all of this set up for, I'd be able to have the stream intros and all of that lot.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So I might
but that's a lot of effort, considering this is just turn it on, plug it in, go. Nonsense.
Yeah, it's a great backup for me, but also don't forget there will be some solo gaming coming soon.
Yeah, but don't forget as well, this isn't work. This is just silly fun time for us. So,
this is our Friday frolic, mate.
You don't have to do full professional streaming stuff with this. This is comfy pants and slippers.
Yeah, this is boxers, bare feet, and when the down cam comes on, shirtless, mate, because it's hot.
Well, I've got the bare feet.
Yeah,
I've got
I
shorts on.
never wear anything on my feet. Never. I'm terrible for it.
I haven't for a long time. Well, I've not been out of the house for long enough to wear.
Even when I go out, I walk up the street barefoot. It don't bother me now.
No, I don't do that. But I think twice in the last year I've actually worn shoes.
Yeah.
I've had to, well, actually, no, 3 or 4, because I've had to go to the tip a few times. So, anyway.
John Pole's in, saying hello to Wendy. Hello,
John Paul.
JC Bricks and Bills. James is in. Evening, Colin Fox. And the chat, he says.
Evening.
William Rayburn's in. He says he's got a cooked dinner. He's going to be back shortly. Enjoy, mate.
Oh, yeah. Well, all the filthy details.
That's everyone saying hello to each other there. Fox is saying good evening. Prepare your seating areas even for maximum lack of movement. Absolutely.
I try to avoid my seating errors.
Paul Lyons in says, evening all, was thinking of running a book on when Colin will lower the tone. Any takers? Oh, mate. Won't be long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There will be a time.
Hello to Wendy. Absolutely. Where are we? There's Brian Windmill saying he's late now. Jamie Bones saying hello to everyone. Did. Obby Barnes in with an H says hello, Colin. Hello, mate. How you doing? Yeah, Edward says, yeah, the YouTube shared it. It's 6:30 my time, which is 11:30 your time. Squishy yeah, it's hug. Weird, squishy. Isn't it? Yeah.
That was my squishy.
That was impressive, mate. Grey Wolf 101 or 011's in even. Saying evening, y'all.
Evening,
hello,
y'all.
Mate. How you doing? Everyone saying hello there. Mm-hmm. Paul saying, Colin in boxes, that's enough to put me off small fruits like plums for life. Absolutely, mate. Hey, even better when I get the airbrush out, mate.
Wait, is it airbrush with an H or without an H?
It's without an H. Okay. 35 psi up the trouser leg, mate.
Actually, I've got a compressor there. I've got me. Yeah, I could try
absolutely. That. It's extremely refreshing, mate. Yeah, just don't go too far backwards because you'll give yourself a bit of a moment.
Oh yeah, it was steady, Harris.
John Paul says, "Hi Terry again. We've got to stop meeting this way."
Just very quickly, Jamie says, "I probably won't be in for long as I'm not feeling too good, so I may have to leave early." I hope you feel better soon, Jamie.
Oh, sorry to hear that, mate. Get well soon, mate.
Also, keep on getting well to Graham, who's still recovering.
Absolutely, yes. Hugo Saws Collector says, hello, everyone.
Hello, Hugo.
As everyone's saying there. Tomorrow there'll be a party in Portuguese Festa here in Porto. Absolutely, mate.
When Colin's around, it's always a party.
Absolutely, mate. Paul Di Tommaso says, good evening, everyone.
Hey,
I can't be serious, mate. You've got to have a laugh, ain't you? There's always a party. Edward Leonard says he's got 2 compressors, one for each side. Honestly, mate, 35 psi, mate. Straight up the old trouser leg gives you a right old ripple, mate. It's lovely. On that note, I'm going to move to down camp. Have you some of that? Move your cup out of the way, cup. There you go. Put your light on. There you go.
Illumination. Look at you with your new cameras and everything.
Pardon me.
Hey, there's a large frog in here.
Yeah, hopefully that's nice and clear.
Diddly bomb. Why am I not even full screen? I've done it again when I'm sitting here just not even full screen.
Yeah, neither's mine, mate, because I've got the chat going up the side there.
I've got a chat on my iPad, but yes.
Yeah, I could probably just use YouTube chat, couldn't I? But mind you, I've got the chat in front of me there as well, haven't I? You pilch.
Hello. Yeah, I was going to say there's a dirty iPad in front, dirty tablet there with the chat on your numpty.
Of course, I don't know, make a difference.
YouTube.
Anyway, Mum, I noticed that there was this button that made it go full screen, and I pressed it, and I felt silly.
I was going to make some models, but if only I had a place to make some. Oh, wait, if there was like a workbench in front of me I could use.
Oh, mate, I can't even remember where I got to last week.
The place. You did the things.
Yeah.
So what are you building tonight, Cole? What are you working on?
I'm doing a bit more on the old Wazbomb, but I lost a bit. Can't remember
what have you lost? Do you mean one of your bits or one of the actual official bits?
No, I knocked the thing off the top there, the old sight for the gun, didn't I?
Oh, really? No,
yeah.
I mean, I knocked mine off about 3 times, so a bit of super glue came in handy.
Yeah, I put it on the bench, but it's no longer on the bench because at one point, I stuck my feet on the bench, and I'm beginning to wonder.
Wait, when you say stuck your feet, do you mean you put your feet on the bench, or you actually stuck your feet to the bench in a moment of
No,
super glue ineptness?
I put my feet on the bench in an attempt to get the swelling down on my feet.
Oh, okay.
Um,
And now
Which
you've got a
went-
reticle stuck to your foot.
yeah, I don't know whether I've got the thing stuck at the bottom of my foot now.
Probably have.
See, this is what I mean. 10 minutes into the show already, I've like, really?
This is where you now find a bit of photo etch from like 2.5 months ago that came off the 432.
This now means that I might, I might have to venture. Is it really that important to find
There
it?
is another reticle in the kit though. There are 2 in the kit.
Oh, is there?
Yeah, there's one because I've got one on my area, on my intake, and one on the actual cockpit canopy area.
Oh, right, yeah.
So you can always sacrifice one.
Yeah, I mean, is it really? It could have been shot off, couldn't it?
You could just make one out of, I don't know, something.
I could just find the one I've lost, couldn't I?
I think Fox should rephrase his sentences. I knocked mine off 3 times, says Jamie Bone. I did actually knock it off a load of times.
Tell you what, it might be on the chair that I'm sat on.
Could be. Did you blast it up your trouser leg when you did a bit of airbrush work?
Oh, I ain't lifting them up to have a look. Not on air, anyway.
No.
Oh, no, Neris.
Edward Lennon asks me if I'm going to paint those tonight. No,
Oh,
these
that
are.
went well.
I've got more. What have you done?
That's all right. It's just me dropping stuff.
Should you just concentrate on building stuff? I think might be the safest bet, mightn't it?
It's too late. I'm down on the deck now.
Oh God, he's never going to get up again.
Yeah, I will. I'll be fine.
None of us still have none of it. I'll say that again. Still, none of us have the mobile number for H. If you get stuck, you're not going to find it.
It's not going to happen.
You're not going to find it. Are you going to find? Is it in that drawer where all the other things were?
It could well be.
Oh dear.
It's one of those. I thought, yeah, it'll be safe there. I'll keep it there. And then as soon as we go live, I can glue it on like a profesh.
Have you not got like a little mint tin or something like that you can put things in?
No.
For safety for safety porpoises. I did my own little
Safety
spider.
porpoises.
That was one of my spider pigs you just got there for free.
I'm impressed.
It wasn't that good. No, I'm not, Edward. I'm not going to be painting these. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I've got 6 Death Guard built. I've got 2 more to build. Then I've got to do the fetid bloat drone. I've got like 40 poxwalkers in that pile over there. I've got 40 more to build. Plus another like 8 or 9 Death Guard. So, yeah. So that big pile of dudes, that's not even all my Death Guard. That's like not even half my Death Guard. I'm going to have a lot of Death Guard. Yeah. Are you back up yet? Can we stop
I
panicking
am.
now?
I'm just here. Not located. There's a surprise.
I wouldn't be surprised. You know what? You'll find it somewhere else. It'll be like stuck to the bottom of your glass, or it'll fall into. You'll be having a shower and it'll fall into the bottom of the bath. And you'll be like, "How the? I don't even want to know."
Yeah.
I found the sight from a Gundam's rifle in the bathroom once. I was like, I've been looking for it for about 3 days, and it was a commission, so I was really stressing out about it. I went to the bathroom.
Oh,
I'm like,
no.
I went into the bathroom to wash my hands, and I'm like, why? Well, okay.
I had a decal from the Barry Sheen build that was stuck on my cheek when I sat down to have my dinner.
Which cheek? Don't answer that question.
The right cheek on my face.
Oh, okay. For some
Yes, it
reason, I don't know why, but when you say the name Barry Sheen, it sounds like it's like a euphemism for something. Or a slang word for something. It's like, oh yeah, he was up down by the old Barry Sheen last week. He kicked me in the Barry Sheen. It really hurt.
No, good old Bazza. Right, what was I going to do? Right, been that's suitably been fooked.
Candygram's in. He says, "Greetings, everyone."
Hello, Candygram. How you doing, mate?
Fox Graham Roberts says, "Fox, turn in the burps on live cam."
Absolutely.
Fox has caught spider pigs from Colin, says Edward. It wasn't a very good spider pig.
Hey, nothing wrong with good spider pig, mate.
No, it wasn't a good spider pig. Though it was a half-assed spider pig.
Yeah, it's supposed to be another one of them things. Then is there to go on there?
Oh, I've got to make the Death Guard Lord of Contagion. Have I made him already?
What number was it? Come on, you book.
Cashier number 4, please. Book. So are you doing official building or 3D printed bits, making things up building?
I'm doing official building because I've got a commission on my 3D printer at the moment.
Oh,
So
secret or not secret?
Yes, very secret.
Oh,
but yes, it's been about 9 days solid of different pieces being printed, and
wow.
I've got a couple left to do, and then it's assembly stage, and then I can then play catch up then and print the Valkyrie stuff.
Is that a massive thing or just a lot of things in the thing that you can't talk about?
It's 30 centimeters tall and it's about 14 parts.
30 centimeters tall. I have no concept.
12 inches.
I don't understand. Hang on.
12 inches, a ruler length.
About the same length as a 12-inch ruler. Funny that, isn't it? So about that long then.
Yeah.
Which looks massive on camera, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's not that big. It's about 12 inches, isn't it? Oh, old joke. There we go. Tone's lowered and it wasn't even Colin that did it.
Absolutely, mate. I'm impressed, mate.
Yeah, that's the oldest joke in the book.
Yeah.
Right, shut up. So, so you're doing your Death Guardings. And you're doing your Valkyries.
Yes, I'm doing my Wazbomb blaster jet at the moment.
For some reason, the phrase Wazbomb Dakka Jet just sounds like a Festa phrase.
It is, isn't it?
It's more Wazbomb, isn't it? Yeah.
It's got a bit of the old Wazbomb going on over there. I think I'd do well at Warhammer or Games Workshop as a paint namer.
Paint namer. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think, you know what, I'd love to watch you play your orcs on the table because I think you'd be doing dialogue as you're playing the game. I think you'd be, because you basically are an orc, you'd be giving all your, every time you move the dudes around, you'd be like doing little things. I think you'd be acting.
Yeah. When Vince sent me over some stuff for the Dungeons and Dragons, he said, "Oh, get yourself a couple of figures," and he said, "Oh yeah," he said, "a berserker is you." He said, "They're bald," he said, "and they're a bit, you know." And I was like, "Yeah." So
done.
he emailed me over a sheet to fill in of all the different bits and bobs, and mate, yeah, as soon as I gave it a name, I've had a boneless. I'm doing voices in the hangouts. I'm like,
over the boneless. I like that.
I will be eating you with my large, you know, and proper got into it.
The thing with D&D is that's kind of how D&D works. It's because it's proper role playing, so you do actually play the part. But when you're playing like Warhammer on the tabletop, you've got like 100 dudes, and you're just rolling the dice for them all to shoot and fire. You don't actually do that, but I think you would. I think you'd role play your entire army.
Yeah, I'd be there, mate. They'd all have different voices. They'd all be identifiable.
Yep.
Oh yeah,
it'd be quite fun to watch you play, I think. Right, I can't find this goddamn piece.
Oh yeah, because the inner child in me would come out, mate.
Have I built this guy already?
But no, I've made a couple of purchases this week that I've not.
Oh dear.
No,
you're not down the hole.
No, they've not been Warhammer purchases. See,
oh, don't care then.
It just proves that I'm not down the hole. However, now that I've made them two purchases, I feel better.
If you're going to say like toothpaste and toilet rolls, then that doesn't count.
Oh no, it was model related. It was a couple of model kits for the during the week shows that I do with Mike and Dave. So
that's just a lie you perpetuate to make us think you're not addicted to the Warhammer.
Oh no, I did that. So now that I've bought them, I don't feel as guilty about the free purchases that I'm going to make with the board.
How many points are you on now?
I'm still on the same points, but I won't be when I've made my next lot of purchasing.
Oh, yeah.
I freely admit that now that I may break a milestone in pointage.
Colin's sitting there saying mistakes may have been made.
Yeah, I mean, it's that time of the month, isn't it? As you know, where we get our beautiful patrons furnish us with earnings that we can get some bits and bobs with to continue stream.
Yeah, first couple of days of the month is the best couple of days of the month.
I am thinking of doing some kind of orc-based army.
Oh, I think
yeah.
I mean, you've kind of got the beginnings of it. Let's be honest. You've got like a small attack force just on the Baneblade itself. So
yeah, it's also because obviously these kits, whilst enjoyable to do, you know, I do build very quickly, as you know.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to run out of stuff to build. So I thought, well, if I do some dupes, knowing your record of how slow you can manage to string a pack of dudes out, I'm thinking actually it's a damn good idea for the live stream.
Well, the thing is as well, it depends how confident you are painting on a live stream, but painting things takes forever anyway. So if you get really knackered, you can always paint stuff on a live stream. But
oh yeah, that wouldn't bother me because I'd just film it whilst I'm painting it anyway, so I can get a video build episode out of it as well, or footage of.
Yeah, the footage.
So no, that don't bother me. I've laid all the artwork out this week for the Warhammer painting series, so I can start filming that. So that'll be a test. To see how it goes.
This is the car thing.
Yeah, it's going to be. I'm going to start off with the custom booster blaster. Is it called?
Yeah, you're getting the names right now and everything without any prompting.
So I'm going to start with that. Do a bit on that. Then probably will be the Sentinel. By then, hopefully the.
Would that be the buddy build Sentinel?
The buddy build that I'm doing on my own, being that Dad's finished his. Yeah.
Buddy build star, not buddy build.
Yeah, the one I'll be carrying on with probably Sunday. I'll have a digging out, and then I might start then feeling confident enough to start doing sections of the Baneblade, or I might do the Valkyrie. I'm not sure yet.
The world is your oyster.
Yeah, I've got a bit more Duncan to sort out, a bit more watching.
You like watching Duncan, don't you?
I do. I find it interesting. For me, it's a new technique. I like learning new things, as you know.
Yeah.
And it keeps my brain stimulated, and it keeps me mojo infused. Yeah. So.
Plus, it's got a pleasing presenting style. It's pleasing to watch.
Absolutely. I'm a bit like yourself, where, you know, I could do a build, but if I don't keep going on with the build and I pause, I struggle then to go back to the build, pick it up and continue because I've moved on, you know, and that's where I struggled with the ball tank recently because I'd had a long pause.
Yeah.
Between episodes, I struggled to get my head round my train of thought. And in the end, believe it or not, I just watched back a couple of episodes so that I could listen to myself talking about what my plans were with it. And suddenly I remembered where I was going with it. So
yeah, I mean, I find similar, but for different reasons. If I get paused on a build, I tend to get stuck then because by that point I've seen another shiny and I'm thinking about other things, and then because I get so easily bored.
Yeah.
Any pause in a build is a risk of then getting distracted by something else that I'm not yet building.
Yeah, I'll just lose my train of thought, mate. You know, and it's like, okay, where was I on this one? Where was I going with it? And yeah,
I'll tell you what, I'm a nightmare for losing my train of. What? That was terrible. I do apologize.
I know what you was doing. I was trying to run with it.
I don't apologise. I regret nothing. The goggles, they do nothing.
You didn't know that about Colin. What's that you didn't know about me, mate?
What's that?
Obby Barnes says, didn't know that about Colin.
What about the dress and the Saturday nights? Your special name?
Yeah.
Colin and Colinetta.
Wayne Model Works has put in a $20 super chat.
Ooh.
He says, here's a little help for the Warhammer budget. I wish it could be more. Thank you very much, mate. That's
very kind
more
of
than
you,
enough.
Wayne.
And it's more than kind of you, mate. Thank you very much, Wayne.
That's a squad of Acadian troopers. That's
Absolutely.
quite a few orcs. That's good. That's a set of grots. That's good stuff.
Absolutely. Nah, seriously, mate. Thank you very much,
Yep.
Wayne. It really does help. Like I say, you know, it says on the banner there you can support the channel on Patreon, Festa 67's Workshop.
Yep.
Or you can use the super chat. It's muchly appreciated. And you can also join my channel by clicking on any of the join buttons under any of my videos.
Is that you doing pimpage? Is that you doing pimpage?
That's me doing pimpage because I'm trying to learn to get a bit more comfortable with it.
Can I just warn everybody now? I'm doing blade swaps.
Oh.
If you can get all the emergency services.
Have you got your special snooker player gloves that you use to build your thing with?
Well, funnily enough, Mama Fox has kind of just bought me a chainsaw. So there are some mesh gloves in there I should probably put on.
Oh my God.
Well, I said, seeing as I'm now stuck doing the gardening.
She's bought you a chainsaw.
Well, not quite. Seeing as I'm now stuck doing all the gardening, because the guy that we had to do the gardening, because, you know, Mum Fox is a million years old and I don't care. We paid a pittance because he's been doing it for thousands of years. We paid him almost nothing, and all he did was come and cut the grass and tidy the leaves up once every couple of weeks. But he's disappeared off the face of the earth, so we're a bit screwed. So it's kind of up to me.
It's not dying, mate.
So I had to go and like buy a lawnmower and everything. So I cut the grass the other day, but I says to Mama Fox, the only thing I can't do is tidy up the hedges and bushes at the front because we don't have any kind of hedge clippers or anything like that. So the next thing I know, she's bought like a miniature chainsaw.
Of all the people I wouldn't let near a chainsaw.
And it's not like a big, it's like a little one. It's like you hold it in it's like you charge it up and it's battery up, and you hold it in one hand and it's got like it's like a chain dagger.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, it's kind of awesome. It's probably not going to be any use at all for actually trimming a hedge. Because it's not designed to go, like, you know, a hedge trimmer goes like that, not like, so I don't know. I can't find my pliers. Where's my pliers?
Jamie Bones says, does anyone know where to get a 1/12 scale American jet pilot?
If you can't find it on eModels, or if you can't find anything like that on eBay or Amazon, then you want to go to Shapeways.
Yeah.
Because if it's not an actual kit, then you can guarantee someone on Shapeways will have a 3D printable version of it that you can buy in either as a print or as a thing to an actual model.
Yeah.
Because on Shapeways, you can either get them to print it for you and send it to you, or you can download the STL file and print it yourself.
Absolutely, and I've used them many times.
Yeah.
To do my figures for my builds.
Yeah. Shapeways is the reason I have a Stargate Teltac cargo ship model that I need to paint at some point. Because there are no Stargate models. And the Teltac is an adorable little cargo ship that I love to bits.
I can go one better than that.
Here we go. Go on.
I have the complete ability to do a fully functioning Arduino-based Stargate that revolves, spins, does all the things.
Does it go?
Yeah, it makes all the noises. Yes.
All the correct noises. Does it do the
correct
kaboosh?
Noises. It's got all the hieroglyphs and all of that lot.
If you make a little remote control for it, you are legally bound to make the button that makes the thing do that. It's legally bound to label that as kaboosh.
Kaboosh.
No, kaboosh. That's the official name for the water effect and the noise.
Yeah.
It's called the kaboosh.
That could well be a project that I film.
Ooh. Yeah, well, I was looking at like ships, because I love the Teltac to bits. The little pyramid-shaped cargo ship, and it's only a little thing about that big. It's not really it's not massive, but it's designed to be in scale with the Star Wars spaceship battle tabletop game.
Yeah.
And they had that, and they had the bomber, which I can't remember the name of. Is it the Hatak bomber? Yeah. And that's quite big, but that was like $120. I'm like, no. Yeah, so I got myself a Teltac. Well, I got myself a Teltac, and it's really beautifully printed. So I must paint it at some point. But you know, I love Stargate so much.
Yes,
I really wish
it was one of those that, as an electronics project, it's kind of got me stimulated. So.
Then, of course, once you've done that, you've got to make yourself a Zat gun.
Yeah.
There was supposed to be, many years ago, there was supposed to be a guy or a company, small garage company, making a resin model of a Teltac, but it never came to fruition.
Yeah,
There was
there's some good
website
stuff.
where he was talking about making it, and then it just kind of faded away. But that's the problem with like garage manufacturers.
There's some good stuff out there, but like I say, some of it just never sees the light of day.
Yeah. Well, that was at the time, it was my only hope, was a small garage kit. It's like one other kit I would love is, do you remember V?
Yeah.
The visitor craft.
Yeah, the little white ones.
Yeah, the little white shuttles, like the one, there was the little short shuttle, there was one with a gun in the back, and then there was the big personnel carrier. I always wanted one of those, but there was a company that made some resin kits, and they were quite big.
Yeah.
But they were completely flat. There was no like panel line detail.
Yeah.
You had to make your own decals for it and stuff. That was, yeah, good luck with that. And that I think that's long gone now as well. So I never got that. So, but there's probably 3D prints for that as well.
There are.
Yeah, but they seem to be very flat. You'd want the panel line detail.
Yeah, this is the problem. A lot of them just haven't got the detail that, dare I say it, we would expect.
Yeah. But then again, that little I can't get it out because it's in a different room now, but the little Teltac I've got, it's got all the little sort of, because it's got all this kind of swirly, not hieroglyphic, but it's got all the swirly patterns and stuff etched into the surface on the ship. It's all like little swirly concentric circles and like, you know, almost like Gallifreyan text. It's covered in those little details. It's so detailed. It's beautiful. And the guy that did it did that and the Hatak bomber, and that's it. So I might save up and get the Hatak at some point. That's quite big. Indeed.
Indeed.
Wendy Hickson's in. Oh no, Wendy Hickson. We know Wendy Hickson's in. I thought Wendy had come in. Or is Wendy coming? Yes. Wendy's in. Hey Wendy, I'll start that again. I'm shutting up now.
You're useless.
SG1 was great, says William Rayborn. Al Kesh, that's it. The bomber was the Al Kesh. That's the one. What was I? I was saying Hatak. What's a Hatak?
Pass.
Hatak might be the Death Glider, maybe.
Yeah.
Lynn Dipple sneaks in and says hi, hugs.
Hello, Lynn. You all right, sweetheart?
She says, I'm eating at Danny's place, belly chop barbecue sandwich, fries, chips, and of course a Dr. Pepper. Food has arrived in time to chow down. See you all when I get home.
Get in there, Lynn.
Yeah,
Get in there, darling.
Bobbins would love a big model of an Omega-class destroyer from Babylon 5. I don't know what that means. I didn't like Babylon 5. It didn't take to it at all.
No, I've still got to watch DS9 yet because I am
still got to watch DS9
so
yet.
useless.
You are. You just complete fail. No, I never got into Babylon 5. I watched like a chunk of the episodes in the first series and was like, this is just crap.
Yeah.
I was a big Next Generation fan at the time, although I appreciate that series hasn't necessarily aged well, but at the time I was like, Star Trek 5, this is terrible. Dogs. Yeah, and DS9, but Babylon 5 was like, it's a bit pants. It was basically actors in costumes. It didn't feel believable for me.
Yeah, Next Generation was the Star Trek that I kind of remember the most, really. But like you say, you look back on it now and you think, oh, that really hasn't done so well with the passage of time.
Yeah, but DS9 is my go-to.
Yes, there will be a time when I'll be able to get DS9 facts correct.
Yes, well, right now you can get any DS9 fact correct as long as it's something that happened between episode 1 and 5.
Yeah,
which is the season that nobody really cares about.
No, that's right. I'll end up having to start watching it right from the very beginning again, I think.
Yep. See, all you can say with any confidence right now is sensing somebody's power by touching their ear. Kira's adorable wrinkly nose.
Love her wrinkly nose. Honestly, that's the reason I watch it.
And Cisco with a terrible haircut that it gets better in as seasons go on.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is the only Star Trek, well, until Discovery, it was the only Star Trek where there was actually a swear word.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Because Miles O'Brien said bollocks.
Oh.
In one episode. And I think it's more likely that the Americans just didn't know it was actually a swear word.
Oh, good for him.
Yeah.
If anyone can detect that strange little buzzing noise in the background, that's my resin printer. Apologies.
It's not that enormous bee that's just come in the window.
No, I'm not scared of bees, honest.
No, it's a bee, it's a bee.
Well, they're just irritating things. They're pointless.
They're not. Well, no, bees aren't pointless. Bees pollinate flowers and they make honey.
Things. Wasps. Well, yeah.
Yeah, wasps
Oh no,
are evil.
bees are the big, soft, fluffy ones, aren't they?
Yeah, bees are the big hugs with wings, basically. We all love bees. Bumblebees are awesome. I love. We get them every year, but we get the tree bees in our kitchen roof.
Not when they're 2 inches from the end of Festa's nose. They're not.
No, tree bees are awesome. They don't bother you, but they literally live under our kitchen. It's like a little 8-foot high roof on the kitchen extension.
Yeah.
And because they're tree bees, it's like there's a small number of queens inside. And then you get this cloud of males flying around in a cloud outside the entrance to the hive, trying to attract the attention of the queens.
Oh, right.
The females.
Yeah.
But all the males are completely stingless.
Oh.
Their entire purpose is to fly around and attract a female to breed with, and then they go off and die. So it's amazing. You can just walk through this cloud of bees with walk past them and just walk through the cloud of bees with no worries at all. They're fascinating to watch. And they only have hives of like maybe 50 to 100 bees, and they don't make honey. So they don't damage your property. So, because we got them one year and we didn't know what they were, so I looked them up and I was like, these are tree bees. They're not honey bees.
Well,
so I looked it up.
Research.
Well, I was trying to find out what to do about it because I thought they can damage your house, and it said no, tree bees don't cause any damage. They only live there for a few months. They don't make honey. They don't sting. They're not going to harm you. And I found out that if it's a tree bee nest, no one will remove them. You can't, like if you get wasps, you can get the council to come and take them away. If you get honeybees, you can't legally get rid of them, but you can get an apiarist to come and relocate them for you. They take the queen away.
Relocated, aren't they? Because
but tree bees, you're not allowed to remove them.
Oh.
Because they don't do any harm and they don't do any damage. They're not technically a pest. They just hang around for a few months. So it's quite cool because I'll go down to make a coffee in the morning in the kitchen, like a little drop ceiling extension.
Nim Sindarin's in.
Hey, Nim.
Saying hi. Hi, Nim. Hope you're doing all right, love.
Yep.
She's asking what madness has she missed. Oh, we've been reasonably well behaved so
Yeah,
far.
we've not done much madness yet.
Which, don't get me wrong, we're not ruling it out.
Yeah, nobody's farted yet. I've done a spider pig, Colin hasn't.
Yeah, I know.
That's all gone about face, hasn't it?
Yeah, mind you, I was doing a good few spider pigs earlier on, but I did have barbecued spare ribs.
Ooh.
And might have had onion barges again.
Onion barges.
Yeah, onion barges.
Yeah, we had Chinese. Anyway, yes, so, going to the kitchen of a summer's morning, if the tree bees are living in the kitchen ceiling.
Yeah.
And all you can hear is these little, because they make little noises. They communicate by these little sort of toots.
Oh, right, yeah.
And it's the queen making little sort of tooting noises. It's called quacking.
Oh, right.
So these bees are making these little quacking noises, and they're little tiny noises, and they're really quite cute.
Oh.
So I can make a cup of coffee in the morning and just sit there listening to the bees. Hello, bees, and they're all like having a right old chin wag in the nest. Probably slagging off all the blokes hanging around outside to attract attention.
And then he said, and then she said, and then he said, oh no. Yeah.
Oh, I know. My Nick, you know.
Yeah. Oh no.
Oh, my Nick. The only way to do a Dot Cotton voice is to have something in your mouth to simulate a cigarette to get that correct.
Yeah.
Embouchure. Yeah. So I like when the tree bees come to stay because they're quite cool. Basically, if you see a big fat bumblebee and it's got a white butt.
Edward Leonard says bee farts that only Fox can hear.
There's not farting.
Yeah, you have got hearing like a shithouse rat. I'll give you
Well, yeah. There is that. Dude, I'm sweating, Cobbs.
that. I know. It's a big minging, isn't it?
It's. I've got the window open and everything. I probably have all kinds of spiders and things coming in my window now. God damn it.
Yeah, I've got the window open. I've got the floor fan on. I've got fan right next to me chair that's blowing air in a certain area.
Here's what, blowing a bit of stiff breeze around the gorbles.
Oh, yeah. The old Gorgonauts, mate.
Doggerbank northerly.
Yeah.
Fair to middling. Amorous to flappy.
But,
yeah, it's so warm that every time I put my arm on the bench, the instruction sheet sticks to my arm and it's gross.
Yeah, I've just moved mine out of the way because it was getting a bit, yeah.
It's like, oh. What's chat doing?
Yeah.
A world without honeybees would be a hungry world. Oh, yeah.
Exactly.
Well, these tree bees aren't honeybees, they're bumblebees. They're from a bumblebee, but...
yeah, it would be, wouldn't it?
Nim says, I had a good sleep today. It was like almost all day long.
Oh, good for you. That's a good snooze.
Graham's off, apparently.
See you
Sorry,
later,
we'll need to
Graham.
go as the shutters are getting ready to close and it's been a long day. Catch up on Sunday Festa.
Yeah, no worries, mate. Thanks for joining me as usual.
Yeah.
Yes.
Never heard them called that before. Yeah, no, I like our tree bees. They're kind of cool. They tend to live in like little bird boxes and stuff, or little holes. Little tiny collections.
We have got a dude of excellence.
Plus, it's a good way to make people think you're really hard. And balls of steel, because you can happily walk through a cloud of tree bees, and most people think it's just a swarm of bees. Well, it's not. So you can walk through the cloud of bees.
Oh, and they think, oh yeah, he's proper hardcore then.
I was like, nah, don't care me. And I'm thinking, yeah, they're completely harmless.
That's the one there.
What you building, Cole? What you building? What you building?
I am cutting out an orc in a seat.
In a suit or a seat?
Seat.
I thought you said a suit. I was like, what is
And
he called?
I'm looking for his plates. I think that's on there. Yeah, there they are.
Are you cutting him? Are you sacrificing someone from the? What are you doing? Oh, you're building the pilot for the.
Yeah, I'm just getting in ready. Put it together. He's not going to get glued in yet because I want to paint him.
I've got to be honest. When I painted the pilot and co-pilot for my Dakar jet,
yeah,
I really enjoyed painting them because they're not like human flesh colours.
No.
You've got a lot of leeway to, like, you know, it doesn't have to get the colours right, so you've just got your green shades. It's like really good. And because, of course, because their eyes are just red, you just paint them red.
Yeah.
It's great. There's no eyeball or anything. It's like brilliant.
Orc skin, isn't it?
Yeah. And then just paint the eye white and put a dot of clear red in there. It's like, there you go, eyes painted, done.
Because I had the other head off of it for the Valkyrie, the old fluttery headscarf one.
Yeah, what, the Russ Abbott job?
Yeah, so that's in the Valkyrie geese, that one.
What happened to Russ Abbott?
Still alive.
I mean, why did he stop? He wasn't some scandal, wasn't he? He wasn't one of these.
No, I think he just got old, mate. Just got older, didn't he?
Did he just realise that he was out of the zone then and thought, I'll just stop now?
I think it was because some of the comedy was becoming out of date, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think his was like anything.
I mean?
I don't think he was doing any kind of like the slightly ropey racist blue stuff. I don't think that.
Oh,
He wasn't
no.
really ill, but
Oh no, but it was that there was that whole PC thing around seaside postcard humour, wasn't there? Dare I say it, you know, people like him suffered because of it, but he was harmless with his comedy, I think. You know, he wasn't an out and out racist like a lot of them were back then. But
I always remember there was one show he did once where, because he had Les Dennis was like a sidekick for a lot of his shows.
yes.
And there was one, it's obviously going to be in about 1989, 1990, where they're doing Batman, and Les Dennis was dressed up as the Jack Nicholson Joker.
Yeah.
And I've got to tell you, they got it spot on. They got the costume just right, and he looked like Jack Nicholson. I was like, that's kind of impressive for a crappy comedy show that they've actually made Les Dennis look like Jack Nicholson.
Oh, yeah.
That's impressive. I was most impressed, because I was big into Batman at the time. So
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those, wasn't it? It was comedy of its time, but it wasn't in a bad way, was it?
No, it was just kind of a bit. It didn't survive the onslaught of alternative comedy, I think, in the 90s.
No, this was the thing, wasn't it? All of that sort of, pretty much all the personalities of that era, weren't it? Suddenly were no longer getting booked for anything. It's a shame because, a lot of them were good comedians.
Yeah, well, it tastes a change. I mean,
But look at
all the sort of alternative comedians in the 90s. A lot of them don't do anything anymore because they haven't aged well either.
Absolutely.
When was the last time you heard anything from Ben Elton?
Exactly. Blackadder, wasn't it? He wrote that. But
yeah.
Comedian-wise, yeah. They were of their time, weren't they?
Harry Enfield, he died a death. His career sort of fell over.
Yeah.
I never actually found Harry Enfield that funny. Well, he was funny, but what I didn't like was the fact that all he did was like stand there expressionless and stare at the camera.
Yeah.
And do you remember Men Behaving Badly?
Yes, Martin Clunes.
Yeah, did you realise that Harry Enfield was the other guy for the first series?
Yeah, he was, yeah.
And he was terrible because he just had the same thing of just staring into the camera and reciting his lines because he couldn't actually act.
Yeah.
He was a good writer, but he was a terrible actor. Although I did find myself watching every single one of the Mr. Chumley Warner videos the other day.
Oh, he was brilliant as that. That's what he was good at. The association football.
Well, the reason that was funny is because that's exactly how he acted anyway. Yeah, he was kind of trying to represent this kind of stiff 1940s informational film, but that's just how Harry Enfield acts anyway.
Always reminds me of you, the Chumley Warners.
Of me?
Yeah, Grayson.
So, Grayson.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like, yeah.
Have you been down to the working class areas again?
Yeah.
Now we shall have an informative and instructional film about a certain matter. What do you have, Mr. Grayson? I have an informative and instructional film about a certain matter. Yes, excellent. I love the one about the informational film about that chap Adolf Hitler. It's just so funny.
Yes.
Because it's just East End. It's just like he's like an East End Cockney.
Yeah. I'm a cheeky Cockney barrow boy.
Cool, blimey, Goebbels.
Oh, God.
So funny. So yeah, when he did Mr. Chumley Warner, they were great. They were just it was just comedy.
Yeah.
Gin, the driver's choice.
Yeah, it was just slapstick, wasn't it? You know what I mean? And to me, that sort of comedy's harmless.
Yeah.
I like that when they can just goof around. They're doing no harm.
Do no harm. I think I like that kind of slightly silly stuff, but also like intelligent comedy. But like a lot of the alternative 90s comedy just turned me off completely. I was like, yeah, it's not.
Well, yeah, it was aggressive and political, wasn't it?
Yeah, and it's a lot of the Saturday Night Live stuff, like the Stavros and Loads of Man and that kind of stuff, and all that kind of era. I mean, the young ones, that was kind of early alternative. That was hilarious. That was great. That was anti-establishment comedy. That wasn't.
I used to love it because it was the one time where both me mum and me dad were deathly quiet with, that face that that expression that parents have when they don't understand what their children are laughing at.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was that, and that used to make me laugh even more because I knew they both hated it.
Oh yeah.
But us four all wanted to watch it, so it was the one time when we got to make our parents squirm, and it was brilliant.
Yeah. I know that feeling exactly because I was the only kid at school that found Rab C. Nesbitt hilarious.
Oh, I used to love that.
And all my mates would be like, "Why do you find it funny?"
Yeah,
because it's funny. But they were all like, "I can't understand a word he says," and I'm like, "Why? It's English."
It's English.
They couldn't get past the Glasgow accent. I'm like, it's not a problem.
Easy quarter.
Hey, Jamesy. Hey, Rab.
Yeah.
And Absolutely was another comedy program, a Scottish comedy program that I adored. Absolutely. Do you remember that one?
No, I don't remember that one.
It was like a kind of sketch. It was like a Scottish fast show before, in like the late 80s, early 90s. And it was like, I can't really remember much about it. But they had the one sketch which was with a DIY guy called Denzel, and he was Welsh, and he was useless. And he was like, "Today we're going to look at a wood," and just weirdness like that. They had one little regular sketch which was like a little town council for a village called Stonybridge.
Oh right, yeah.
And at one point they're trying to get some publicity, tourist trade, because they're like, "Come on, we're in Scotland, we need to get some tourist stuff going on." But they're a little poxy village in the middle of nowhere, and it's like, "Come to Stonybridge with its wildlife," and there's a cat just on the street, and it's public amenities, and it's like a public toilet, and it's like, yeah, I like this. That was a good show.
Watching, Father Ted as well. I used to like.
Oh yes, I need to kind of like wipe my nose or something. I'm going to turn the microphone off for a sec while I'm blowing fluids out my body.
Mate. Martin Cannon says, "Yeah, that's why I like the Fast Show. Yeah, I used to love that. You ain't see me, right?" And this week, I've mostly been eating terminally salata.
See, they don't that kind of comedy didn't really survive that. It was awesome at the time, but it's the kind of comedy where you have like 5 or 6 different sketches and you just do the same thing each week.
Yes,
it works, but it didn't last that long.
No.
What I used to hate was comedy where it's a badly written comedy sketch when they have like they finish the last sketch and go to the next sketch and there's a title card that explains it, and it's like, rather than just going into the sketch, they have to have a little title card pops up, like saying Bob Smith, the comedy Cockney chap who lives in where, and it's like, oh, you've had to explain the premise of the sketch, therefore it's not going to be well written. So there's a lot of comedy did that and it just didn't work at all.
Yeah, some work, some don't.
Do you remember Goodness Gracious Me? That was hilarious.
Yes.
That was great. That. Let's have a look. His name was Dermot. They still show it on UK Gold now. Richard Pezzol's in. He says, "Hello, Colin, Fox and everyone."
Hello, Richard. How you doing, mate?
I don't know who Dermot was. I guess Dad isn't there, says Edward Leonard.
No, I think he's gone to bed.
He's old. He needs to sleep.
He's probably binge watching again.
Yeah. That's what you call it, is it?
Oh, yeah, he started watching Criminal Minds now, so he's got 18 odd seasons of that to get through. So
I thought he'd be more of like a new tricks watcher.
I think he's going to turn up. He's going to be there with his detective's Mac on. That sounds wrong. Underneath the chairs.
I can't actually think of any other song that Flanagan and Allen did.
Nah, it's only one of theirs I remember.
No, it's the only line of any song they ever did.
Yeah.
Jamie's off. Got to go now. I'm not feeling any better, so it's time to take some medication and go to sleep.
Yeah, see you later, Jamie, mate. You take care, buddy.
Yeah, hope you feel better soon, buddy. I need to go too, says Hobby Barn. I need a breathing treatment. That sounds drastic.
Oh, breathing treatment.
Don't know what that means, but take care.
Oh, right. Yeah. Sorry, mate. Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah.
Okay. My cat will be 11 in August, says Wendy Hickson to Edward.
Oh, wow.
And to Nim. They're talking about cats. Hobby Barn says he'll be here for Sunday. He or she, I don't know. I don't know if it's Hobby Barn is a male or a female.
Hobby Barn, yeah, no worries. Not a problem, buddy. Thanks for coming in. They're talking cats, are they?
Cats are lazy when they are older, says Edward Leonard. Well, they're lazy when they're any age. I like cats, but I don't know if I would like, if I got a cat. See, I'm a dog person, but I'm also incredibly selfish and lazy. So I'm a dog person, but I'd get a cat because it's less hassle than a dog. I don't have to take a cat for a walk so it can go and crap on somebody's garden.
I ain't had a dog since my bulldog died. The most stereotypical dog that I could have had.
Yep, bulldog. Yeah.
Bulldog, innit? Laziest bloody thing and all.
Well, if I come and deform your face so you can hardly breathe, I'm sure you won't run around much either.
Oh, yeah, we got it a treadmill because it wouldn't go out for a walk.
Yeah, but like I say, when you can hardly breathe.
Yeah.
Imagine if I jammed your face up so you had one nostril and even that was permanently bunged.
Yeah.
You wouldn't be keen to go running around like a mad bastard.
He was a character.
Yeah, I'd love a dog, but I also, if I ever get a dog, I want it to be a Hollywood dog that is actually intelligent enough to understand commands and think like a human and just like, crap in the toilet and not require me to do anything for it. But that's never going to happen, so I'll get
Of course
a cat.
it ain't.
Because, then a cat, I just kick it out the door and leave it to go and do its business. Bye.
And you don't see them traditional breeds now, do you? That there used to be around when we was kids,
What, dogs or cats?
Yeah, dogs. Well, people used to have boxers, red setters, and all kinds of different. You don't see them sort of breeds now.
I've not seen a red setter for a long time.
Exactly, because people have gone for Rottweilers, pit bulls, and that sort of dog.
Yeah.
It's like,
Get yourself a good lab or a golden retriever. There you go.
yeah, you don't see them now. It's
Fat Labrador. There's actually a song by Weeble called Fat Labrador. Fat Labrador. It's a great song. I always used to joke that I was like, why are Labradors always really fat? Turns out they actually have an eating disorder.
Oh, do they?
That means they just compulsively overeat. Even when they're not hungry, they'll still eat. It's a genetic disorder
Oh, bloody hell.
that causes them to just be constantly hungry. And so they are literally the fat kid in the school playground. Fat Labrador. Yeah, but I'm far too lazy to have a dog. I'd love a dog, but if I got an animal,
Yeah, it would be pointless now because I can't exactly go and take it for walks, can I? So
nah. Like I
it
say,
wouldn't be fair on the
you
animal.
need a smart dog that can do all that for itself and not require. It's just there to be like a companion. It's never going to happen. Not being Hollywood makes you want that, but it never will. Dogs won't ever do that.
My missus used to have a Jack Russell, and that that bloody thing.
I don't like little dogs.
Proper little ankle nipper it was.
Never a big fan of little farty dogs.
Yeah.
I much prefer big dogs because they're gormless and fun.
Yeah, they're docile.
Yeah, little dogs just shout a lot, and I don't know. Every time I've been annoyed by a barking dog, it's been a gormless little tiny thing.
Yeah,
like
little dog syndrome.
Yeah, the one next door, but one. The poodle door brull, just some stupid poncy middle class crossbreed, doodle poodle or something. I don't know, some barking nonsense. I just want to drop it out of an aircraft at 30,000 feet.
Oh, a Labradoodle.
Yeah, but it's not. It's something like that.
Yeah,
it's just it's kind of it's small and it's some stupid poncy middle class bullshit.
Yeah, it's the sort of animal that would have been classed as a birth defect a few years ago.
Yeah, it's just get a dog. Just get a Labrador or a Heinz 57 or a golden retriever or an Alsatian or something. Because at least big dogs, when big dogs bark, they just go boo, and that's it. That's it for half an hour. Then
Yeah,
we used to have. When I was a kid, right? This is the weird thing. When I was a kid, everybody had like either just mongrels or big dogs.
yeah,
And you'd literally, of a day, you might hear one of the big dogs in the neighbourhood go boo once.
yeah.
But then all the neighbours would have these big dogs, and this is in the 70s, they'd all just like sit at the end of their driveways watching people go past.
Yeah.
And occasionally it might look at you and go boo, like that.
Yeah.
But they wouldn't bark, they wouldn't run around, they'd just sit there.
Walk around in a circle, go, and then sit back down again.
But nowadays, it's like all these people with stupid poncy dogs that just bark all day. And it's like, oh, can we just not ban idiots having pets?
Yeah.
That'd be great, thanks. I don't know. Get yourself a normal dog for normal people. None of this yappy little lap dog crap. Don't need that. No.
Are you having a wibble? You are.
I'm having a wibble. If you're going to have a dog, it's got to be a big dumbass.
Yeah.
You've got to be able to, it's got to be as heavy as a large child.
Yeah.
There's no fun otherwise.
Yes, folks. Fox is having a wibble.
Wibularte.
James is off. He's going to bed. See you later, James. Take care,
James.
mate. There you go. Thanks for popping in, mate.
All right. La, 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 la. Hobbyborn says, bye, guys. Had a great time hanging with all of you. Have a great evening.
See you later, Hobby Bar. There you go, buddy.
Paul Di Tommaso says, "Our tabby cat is 17 to 18 years old. He still gets playful at times. That's a senility."
Oh, bless.
Break out the cat crack and they go nuts. Absolutely. My dog can literally burp and fart at the same time, says Edward. Yeah, so can I. Although I have to say, the worst thing you can do is sneeze and fart at the same time. Jesus Christ.
Why am I not surprised you can do that?
Well, yeah, no, farting and sneezing at the same time is a nightmare.
Oh, absolutely.
That's like passing a 3-foot-long razor blade outwards through a hole that's like a micron across. It's just not, I don't know why. It's the most painful thing ever. It's like being kicked in the bollies, but without the kicking in the bollies. Mark Shellard's in, says hi everyone.
Hello, Mark. Hope you're doing all right, mate.
Colin.
Pink straw. Fox has got his pink straw out.
Suck on my big pink straw.
I have some really good greebles left over from this, you know.
What, from the
Wazbomb?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And
Well, I've got all the bits I didn't use in mine in the box still because I've got to use them on the other one I've got. So
I'm seeing the potential of modifying the Valkyrie to accept some of the Wazbomb greebles. So
oh yeah, do it.
I'm kind of glad that I stepped away from it whilst the commission print is going on.
The super secret commission print that you can't talk about.
Yeah, these greebles, I'll be able to talk about it on next week's show.
Ooh.
Because it would have been received by the said person by them.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Yeah, it's the one thing that Valkyrie needs is just orkifying up.
Oh, yeah.
Like somebody said the other week, it looks really great, but it's still all kind of just Imperial, and it's all the guns are like, it's still Imperial looking. It's like an Imperial vehicle with extra bits. You need to make it orc.
It's
got to have that
stage.
ramshackle look.
At the moment, it's still in its assembly stage.
Yeah, it got lots. It got loads.
Patience is a virtue, young man.
Oh no, I'm saying that. I'm not criticizing.
Oh no, it was.
I'm pointing that out for the
Sire,
viewer,
wasn't it? He was saying about it, and he was like,
"Needs more orc." I mean, it's definitely worth going on and printing out or getting some more like orc weaponry and stuff.
"Oh yeah,
Get yourself some orc bits and bobs."
well, this is it. It's what I'm hoping to have a bit of a purchase of different bric-a-brac and bits and bobs.
Bric-a-brac.
Because the potential's there, and I've seen some bits that I can add to the Valkyrie that will come out of the resin printer anyway. So it's tying the two together. But hopefully, by the time that comes round, I'll have. Oh, excuse me.
Steady, Neris.
Quite a lot of the greebles from this. I'll
Stay
be
on
able to
target.
know where they'll go on the Valkyrie. So
Yeah. Stay on target.
Yeah. It's going to prove somewhat beneficial doing it this way round.
Yeah. There's always a reason for all things.
Absolutely.
Things happen for a reason.
I just love the steampunky style madness of some of it. It's
Yeah. But that's the beauty of them just making all their tech from scrap.
Yeah.
And without a real understanding of how it actually works. It just works. So they can literally just cobble anything they want together.
Yeah, it's got to be done, mate.
Like if they get a Space Marine helmet and stick it on the end of a stick and really believe that it's a rifle that shoots knives, it'll be a rifle that shoots knives.
Oh, absolutely, because it's all, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Do you know the lore behind them for why that happens?
No.
Basically, in the Warhammer universe, there are things called psychers. There's like psychic energy, but not like our universe, like namby-pamby made-up bullshit psychics that say I can speak to all that rubbish. They're just con men. But in the Warhammer universe, there is a whole sort of psychic energy because it's all to do with the warp. That lies behind the existence of the universe. And orcs were genetically engineered and manufactured to be like a weapon, which is why they're always fighting all the time. But they're imbued with this psychic ability, this psycho field, which basically means whatever they want to happen happens.
Yeah.
If they wish it, if enough of them wish something strong enough, it will happen.
Ah, right.
It's manipulating the warp energies and the psychic energies, and it's just kind of part of the law. So if you give an orc a brick, if you give me a brick, it's a brick. If you give an orc a brick, and that orc believes that it's the most powerful weapon in the world and will defeat all orcs, it'll become the most powerful weapon in the world. So, like an orc can find something on the battlefield and make a weapon out of it. But if you then come along and if you bring an engineer to try and strip it down and reproduce it, it won't work.
No.
You could build an orc weapon piece for piece identical and it wouldn't work because you've not got that psychic field making it work.
You've not believed that it'll work.
Yeah. You, as a human, you don't have that ability, you see. It's kind of cool. It just means they can basically make anything.
Yeah.
Like, you know, you get an orc vehicle. There's no reason at all why it would work. There's probably not even an engine in there. It works.
Yeah. Because it's orc.
Yeah, it's orc in it. It's fascinating. I love the orc lore. Their currency.
For me, it's just the freedom of it.
Oh yeah. Their currency is teeth.
Oh mate, that's ironic, isn't it? Considering that. Yeah.
Well, the idea is that because they lose them and grow them really fast, so they call them teeth, T-E-E-F.
Yeah.
And so what you do is, the more teeth you've got, the richer you are, the more powerful you are. So what you do is basically you go and bash people's heads in to get their teeth, and that's how you get rich.
Oh,
you go and crump other orcs' heads to get their teeth. But then there are some orcs who make a living by just like getting their own teeth and selling them. But they don't last very long because obviously they decay, they rot if you have a bag full of teeth. So it's like a limited time currency. It's fascinating. I love orcs. They're awesome.
The people that wrote all of this are genius, aren't they?
Yeah, or on drugs. All of the above.
Yeah, pretty much all of that then.
I mean, the beauty of it is it's all developed over like 30 or 40 odd years, so
yeah,
it's had a long time to stew and develop. DevilDog.games. I made it. I'm late, but I'm here.
Hello, mate. How you doing?
Welcome, Triple D. I'm going to call you Triple D from now on.
Yeah, how you doing, fella? Another one of our fellow live streamers.
All right. DevilDog.games. I had a staff, says Wendy Hickson. Rosie or her kennel club name, Bray, win out of the darkness. Sadly not with us. Such a lovely dog.
Oh, sorry to hear that. That is the thing, you know, that's what I found with the wife. She got so attached to her pets that when she lost them, it would, really mess with her. And it's like, we won't be getting no more now.
Yeah. I mean, when I growing up as a kid, all we had was a couple. Well, apparently we had some dogs, but it was before I was able to remember anything, so I have no memory of them. Apparently we had a borzoi.
Yeah.
No, an Afghan.
Oh,
we had
right.
an Afghan for when I was very little, called Mango.
Yeah.
And it was apparently. I was able to look it up. Apparently it was like a purebred. It was a very, very expensive, although we kind of bought it cheap. Apparently it was a purebred certificated Afghan hound. And I looked it up. I got Mama Fox to tell me the proper name of it because she vaguely remembered its full name. And I looked it up on the Kennel Club.
Yeah.
And it was there on the internet from like 1973 or something.
Oh, right, yeah.
With its lineage and history. And where it was kennelled and where it was born and sold to, and well, basically we got it, and apparently it was the stupidest dog in the world.
Yeah.
When you took it for a walk, it would insist on just walking on top of garden walls. Bearing in mind it's like a big, massive Afghan, and it was a bit snappety, so they had to get rid of it. I was only a baby at the time, so. But I was apparently I was like, wow, I can actually look up a dog that I didn't even know we ever had. And we were just some small middle class, lower middle class family at the time. We weren't anything special. So,
Lynn Dipple's in saying hi again to everyone and hugs. Hello, Lynn. You all right, love?
Yeah, she's back in from the eating. Well, she's doing the eating. But yeah, growing up, we had a couple of cats when I was about 6 or 7, and they went up, grew up with me through my childhood and early adulthood. That's the only pets we had. We had a canary. Called Cyril. That's weird. It was like we had this whole canary and it just lived in the sun lounge and nobody ever looked at it or talked to it or anything. Poor little thing. We fed it. But I was a kid, so I was running around and didn't care. Mum and Dad probably didn't do anything with it. This poor thing was living in a cage in the sun lounge for years, it did.
Yeah, must have been fun for it.
I don't know why. Cyril, it was called.
Yeah. We had cats and dogs when we was kids. Like I say, I had a few dogs since I've been married, but
I've had a few dogs.
Yeah, when the last one popped its clogs, it was like we was both working, and it was like
it's not really. It wouldn't be practical now, though, at all, would it? So,
no, it wouldn't be. I mean, I wouldn't be able to take one for a walk or anything like that. It's not fair on the animal at the end of the day.
No, I mean, it wouldn't be a problem if somebody else could do all that for you and take care of that, but there's no guarantee anybody else can do that either. So,
nah, it's one of them. It's, you know, I think that if the animal's going to suffer and not have an enjoyable life, it's not fair of me to put that on it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, just for your own gratification.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So,
yeah,
I'd rather the dog be able to run around in a field on the farm and get all the attention and love it needs and all of that lot. And yeah.
Well, that's why I was saying about me and getting dogs. I probably wouldn't get a dog because I'm far too lazy and selfish. A cat I can just leave to its own devices and give it loves when it needs them. You know, give it scritches when it wants it, and it keeps me company. But then I don't have to clean up its poop or go take it for walks.
Yeah,
it's cold.
It's one of them, isn't it? You know, if the quality of life for the animal isn't going to be pleasant, then why keep one?
Yeah,
not fair.
No. Oh, yeah. So we had a canary, we had fish, we had cats. But I was a young kid, so I didn't really engage with any of them, apart from the cats. We had two cats. One was called CB and one was called Muffin.
Oh, whoa.
CB was Charlie Brown and Muffin was obviously called Muffin. And CB was great because he could hear a crisp packet open at like a mile away.
Oh, yeah. That's the thing with the dog, isn't it? They can't hear a burglar breaking in, but the sound of a crisp packet.
No, these were cats, sorry.
Oh, right, yeah.
So, but my brother did a little comic strip. Well, I remember this. He did this little comic strip of the cat, like sitting there in some little radar centre.
Yeah.
All these like sensors there, waiting for the sound of a crisp packet opening. Because you could literally, you could be at the end of the garden and you just look at a crisp packet and the cat would appear. Meow.
Mm.
How the hell?
Yeah. You can have a spider pig.
Look at the spider pigularity. I've done a dude.
Have another one.
Done a dude.
You've done a dude. Fox has done a whole dude, folks. Dun 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 dun.
If these instructions stick to my arm one more time, I'm gonna just find someone and beat them senseless with a tomato.
I've got mine on the drawer of goodness at the moment because they kept sticking to me.
Yeah, I can't do that because I need to be able to see them.
Instructions of stickage. Yeah.
Ew.
No, matron, no.
Oh, hello, matron. Right, I've built all them.
Look at him trying to make out he's done a lot.
I've done all that. You can see all them dudes over there. There's hundreds of them. Just not all in one time today. Like
I was going to say, yeah.
Yeah, shut up. Right, now I've got to build the Lord of Contagion. This may take some time.
Oh dear.
Yes. He's a big chap. He has I've got an extra base there. He has a 50mm base.
Oh, wow.
Not a 32mm base.
No, a 50.
50mm.
Not a 32. Not a 42. But a 50.
That's a 40. That's a 32. That's a 60. That's a 50. Yeah. Side of that, yeah.
Oh, blimey.
Go blimey, go now. Compared to him. And that's not a standard one compared to a Poxwalker, of course. Poxwalker's tiny.
Oh, blimey, that ickle.
So this is how you can tell it's an important, boss character, because he's got a big fat base.
Yeah.
Big fat base. How low can you go? Let us build this Death Guard Lord of Contagion by Vectron. Right. Muse says, I don't recall a time without a dog. It's very strange not having one. I can imagine it is if you're used to it.
Yeah.
Mark Shellard says hello to Nim, and Nim says hello to Mark Shellard. Lynn has her Sweetie.
Yeah, she's got a parrot, hasn't she?
Yeah. And Sweetie's going to live for like 70 years. So,
how old is your parrot, Lynn?
Yeah.
You've had him a number of years now, haven't you, love?
Yeah, them things live for like 60, 70 years. So that's a pet for life. Where are we up to? Lynn is also off for the next 3 days.
Oh, wow. Dun, 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 dun,
Yeah.
dun. Oh, yeah, because it's bank holiday Monday, isn't it?
Yeah. No, not in America.
No, here.
Yeah, I know here, but not in America.
Yeah, no. I was just thinking of there's no E-models, is there, Monday?
Nope.
Damn.
We can all go drunk and play ping pong instead. Woo!
I know.
This is the one downside of working from home for yourself. You don't get days off. I don't have days off and bank holidays.
That's
weird. And I'll
Just
tell you
another
what.
day.
I'll tell you what amuses me. Two things. First of all, I saw a tweet yesterday, and it was a tweet from an American journalist who said, "Hang on a minute. I get like 3 days off a year. People in the UK get 3 months off a year. And yet we're living the dream? I think not."
Yeah.
But I'll tell you what amuses me, though, is when you're a school kid, you know absolutely every bank holiday and public holiday date, start and finish time. It's in your DNA. It's in your genetic makeup. You know.
Yeah.
At the start of your year, you know, only 6 weeks till this, 5 weeks till that, and then we get... Is it just me, or is it the moment you left school you instantly forgot when all the holidays are?
Yeah, you wouldn't have a clue. How many times did we go to work on a bank holiday thinking that it wasn't a bank holiday?
Exactly, and be like, oh...
Or is that just me that kept doing that?
No, I've done that. How many times did you get up for work, get up, get showered, get dressed, get in the car, get halfway to work and go, crap, it's Saturday?
Yeah, done that, yeah.
Yeah. I remember getting on the bus to school once and got to school, I'm like...
Where is everyone? Yeah.
It's Saturday, isn't it? Yeah. Although there is no greater feeling than you stood there, especially when you've got a crappy job and you stood there at the bathroom sink brushing your teeth and you're really depressed and dejected because you hate your job, you hate your life, everything sucks, and you go, wait, it's actually a day off. And you realise you can stop brushing your teeth and go back to bed.
Yeah, it's that trot down your way that you do before you dive back under the duvet, isn't it? It's like,
yeah. I woke up this morning to go for a wee. And when I go to bed, I've got my phone as my alarm clock, so it's by my side.
Yeah.
And usually my body, like I have this ongoing war between my conscious and unconscious brain.
Yeah.
My conscious brain likes me and my unconscious brain hates itself. Yeah. So, as much as possible, my unconscious brain tries to make me wake up to go for a wee like 10 minutes before my alarm is due to go off.
Yeah.
Oh no, maybe half an hour. Long enough that I can't just lie there for half an hour and snooze because I need to go for a wee.
Yeah.
But not long enough that I can go for a wee and then come back and go back to sleep because it's not quite... And it knows, and but this morning it failed because it woke me up at like 5:30.
Yeah.
So I looked at my watch, I looked at my clock and my phone and was like, yes, it's 5:30, I can go for a wee and I can go back to sleep. Get in.
You sit there and you think, there is no way I am going to get up just yet to go to the loo. Because there's only a couple of minutes left for the alarm.
Yeah.
But your brain and your bladder are going, no, we're not going to wait. We are not going to wait.
That's the thing, because you have that battle, don't you? Because you're like, I don't want to get up to go for a wee just yet. But, you'll force yourself to lie there not getting up, even though you can't stay asleep because you're dying for a wee. And it's like, get up for a wee.
You're laying there rocking to yourself because you're like, your bladder wants to go, your bladder wants to go. Yeah.
And it's like, you know what, fine, I'll go. And so my
unconscious... sit there and have a row with your bladder. Go on, sorry, mate.
Yeah. I was going to say, my unconscious brain tries to make sure it's not long enough to get back to sleep and too long to actually wait it out. Yeah, I think my unconscious brain actually actively hates me, I think.
Oh, yeah.
actively
Gets
hates
you
me.
every time.
Yep.
You're like, really? Are you happy now? You've made me get up. You're having a row with your own bladder.
Yeah, and this is what spooks me out about the unconscious. This is what blows my mind about the unconscious mind, right?
Yeah.
Given that your unconscious brain is part of your brain, you're not aware of it, but it's aware of your conscious brain. Okay, so your unconscious brain knows what the score is. It just works without your authority. It just does what it needs to do.
Yeah.
So every time I have my dinner of an evening, after about an hour, I'll go and brush my teeth.
Yeah.
Without fail, I'll go and brush my teeth, and then as I'm finishing and leaving the bathroom, I'll need to go for a wee, which means I have to go for a wee and then go back and wash my hands again.
Absolutely.
When common sense would say, go for a wee and then wash my hands and then brush my teeth. No. So my unconscious brain knows my routine. It knows that I eat my dinner and then an hour later I go. And at any point it could say, right, let's go for a wee now because he's going to go and brush his teeth.
Oh, no, it's got to mess with you.
Yeah, I don't understand why it does that.
Because it doesn't like you.
I know. I don't understand how part of the human brain can not be aware of other parts of the human brain.
Yeah, it's like it's messing with you all the time.
Yeah, well, it's almost like they're just not in communication as well.
Yeah.
It's like, come on, you're my brain. You know I was going to go and brush my teeth. You know I have to wash my hands. So why didn't you just coordinate? Oh.
Yeah, really? Why did you make me go and do that? And
It's like a completely separate thing living in my brain that has no awareness of the outside world.
Yeah.
It's really weird. It breaks my mind sometimes thinking about how the unconscious mind works.
You do that a walk of defeat. It's like, really? You've now made me stop what I'm doing because I need to go for a wee.
Yeah.
And start berating yourself. And it's like, yeah, why am I berating myself at 4 a.m. because I've just had to go for a pee?
Yeah, exactly.
It's because your brain's messed with you again. See?
Yeah. It's like, get this, you might have known this, but have you ever heard of blind sight?
No.
Blind sight is kind of rare, but it exists. Basically, I can't remember the guy's name, but there was a famous case of this guy who he was blind from birth.
Yeah.
Was he blind from birth? No, he wasn't blind from birth, but he went blind.
Right.
And he was in his middle age. But there was a film of him, this guy, and basically they put him in this corridor. He's completely blind, can't see a thing. Put him in a corridor with some obstacles, like little cardboard boxes and stuff. And he just walked down the corridor and navigated it perfectly.
Oh, right, yeah.
Because I think he went blind after a brain injury.
Mm-hmm.
So he's got no vision at all, can't see anything. They can prove by looking at his brain and signals through it and responding to light, and nothing there at all. But yeah, he can navigate around obstacles in a corridor that he's never been to before.
How weird.
And what they found out was it was all like mixed in with the unconscious brain. Basically what was happening was the reason for his blindness was a break in the communication between what his eye was seeing and what his brain was receiving.
Oh, right. Yeah.
So he was actually seeing, but the information wasn't getting to the visual cortex.
Okay, yeah.
But it was getting to some other parts of the brain, the unconscious parts of the brain. So basically, he was seeing the world around him, but completely unaware of it. Because he couldn't see it.
Yeah.
So his conscious brain couldn't see it, but his unconscious brain could and could guide him around. So he could see without seeing. It's really weird. It's quite rare.
Cool. Yeah.
But it's another thing about the unconscious mind and how it's completely bloody freaky. It's really weird. It fascinates me. The human mind scares me and fascinates me.
How the human brain can mess with you at the most inopportune moments, and you're like, really?
Oh, God, yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm really struggling to find parts on the sprue today because I'm a complete spoon. C28, there we go. That looks very much like that. Okay, I'll shut up. This guy's got lots of spikies. That makes me nervous.
Loads of spikes.
Yeah, potential stabity maximum.
Oh, dear.
Or rather stabity potential. He's got horns and bones and spikes. God.
Oh, dear.
Yeah. Ha la 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 la. Lord of Contagion. Wendy Hickson says, white-kneed tarantula only had a few months. Diacama rugosum, 2 types of meso and Camponotus nacara. Say that again. Camponotus nicobarensis. Camponotus. That's the ants. Those are ants. The Camponotus, not weaver ants. Carpenter ants. Is that Camponotus? Carpenter ants?
I think so.
Wendy Hickson, am I being really smart and guessing? Camponotus is carpenter ants.
I'm so impressed if he is.
Tell me if I'm right. Camponotus. I think it's carpenter ants. It's definitely ants. When your brain lets you walk upstairs and then forget why you're up there. Absolutely. That's just age. Edward says to Wendy, I had a red-legged tarantula when I was 12. And Muse has got to go back to work, says later on. Take care, Muse.
You take care, Muse. Mine, there you go, love.
Yep, sorry you've had to go back to work. Boo hiss, boo hiss.
Yeah, it's not fair, Muse, them making you work.
I know. Money. Who needs money? I've held the tarantula in my hand. It's beautiful.
Oh, they're a lovely thing.
When I used to work for a cable company, we had the Discovery Channel turn up one day. It was basically a guy with a truck full of animals.
Oh, right, yeah.
For one of their new animal programs. He was basically like an animal wrangler. Everything from like hitting cockroaches, tarantulas, snakes. There was a fruit bat called... what's the fruit bat called? Not Elvis. I can't remember. Fruit bat and all this kind of stuff. And you could hold them and interact with them all.
Yeah.
So... I held the fruit bat, let it hang off my arm, and it was cool. It was massive. I held a hissing cockroach, it was cool. But I held the tarantula. Big. It was a big silver. It was an orange-kneed tarantula. I think it was like beautiful. It looked like it had been sprayed with like lead belcher spray.
Oh, right.
Real bright silver metal colour, but with bright orange knees. And it was the size of a cat.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, I don't really like spiders, but it's kind of gorgeous. And because it's so big and stuff, so I put it on my hand, and it was amazing. Have you ever held one?
Yes, yes.
It's so amazing, like because they're so weightless.
Yeah.
And the delicate feel of the tip of the foot on your hand, it's like, oh, that's amazing.
Oh, they're gorgeous. They really are.
Those are spiders. As long as they've not got the nictating hairs, they're spiders I don't mind.
Yeah, we went down one of the zoos down in Somerset Way. And they had a tarantula, a python, things like that, where they would just, let you sit there and you could hold the spider, you could have the snake on you. And
oh, crap, I've got 2 extra dudes to build that I didn't know about. Cool.
Dun, 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 dun.
I've got a noxious blightbringer and a malignant plague caster. Cool. I thought I had like a load of bits left on the sprue. That was a bit weird. Yes, you are correct, Fox. Mesor are seed eaters. Yes. Our very good friend Kenneth, who lives in Australia, bought a load of seed ants.
Yeah.
Oh, no, he got... Oh, the meat ants.
The meat ants, isn't they?
Yeah, so somebody got... I think he got some other ones on that were seed-eating ants. Yes, Camponotus. Mesor and Camponotus nicobarensis. Yeah. Lindipple says it's 1825. The year or the time? I assume you mean the time. It's 1825. Everyone's going to war. It's 90 degrees Fahrenheit, 32 degrees centigrade. Hot, hot. I hate this hotness. Bring back the cold.
Not that far off of it here, really, is it? I mean, it's really humid tonight, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I've got the window open. And it's. I mean, let's be honest though. I've got like a whole load of like hot LED lights and a computer on.
Yeah,
Not
we
really
don't help
helping.
ourselves, do we? Because obviously we've got all our lights on around us.
Yeah, it's all jolly good though.
Light up our benches.
Yes. La, 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 la. Ants are cool. I like ants. I will admit though, I'm not that smart. I actually watch the Ants Canada channel, so. Or at least I used to before he became really clickbaity, but so that's why I know Camponotus are Ants Canada are ants. I used to really like that channel, but it's become real kind of like clickbait kind of content.
Yeah, a lot of them have gone that way now, haven't they? And it's a shame.
It's like a 15-minute video, but there's only like 2 minutes of content. The rest is like, let's talk about the thing we talked about last week, just to recap. Why we've done this already.
Is this a natural progression that we're going to start seeing with YouTube now?
Yeah, well, I don't know. I think the problem is when you have somebody who makes content, but then they're under pressure to keep making it regularly.
Yeah.
It's like when you get like the kind of video is like this like that's kind of the channel. He still does some good stuff, but it's like a lot of them is like you won't believe what this Queen Ant did, and then it's like 15-minute video, and you only find out at the end what it was, and it's not even that, and it's like, oh, is that it?
Yeah, that's what annoys me, because you've sat there and you're like, yeah, really?
I mean, you don't do a showstopper right at the start, but at the same time, yeah. So I kind of don't watch him quite as much now.
Well, you get it. Oh yeah, we'll tell you the secret in the next episode of the video. Really? I won't be watching that then.
No. I'm the complete opposite. I just spend 4 hours doing something that should take 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, my Dodge Charger episodes that are way too long.
I do like the extreme way you do things. It does make me laugh.
It's not really extreme. I just kind of prattle about for half an hour.
I
watch some of the other part work channels where they just they cut it around so much. It's like, now we put this screw in here, next we attach this to this, and I'm like, yeah, that's 45 minutes of me getting it wrong and swearing.
I just love the jeweler's gloves, the special oil for the screw holes. That is your eccentricity. That fascinates me.
We're not doing the gloves anymore. Screw that.
It's like overkill. It's brilliant to watch, because that's you. You're very eccentric like that.
Well, I've dumped the gloves because they were a pain. I'm still using the oil because, trust me, when you're doing 4 issues in one day, and you're doing screws into metal, and some of them are quite stiff, and you're like, your hand is red raw by the end of it.
I would have been worried about hydraulicing.
I don't know what that means.
Hydraulicing, it's something that used to happen if you put bolts into an engine block. If you put oil in them and torqued them down, the oil would act as like a hydraulic fluid, and it would crack the block.
You're talking some kind of elusive lady language here that I don't understand.
Yeah, it's basically because you put too much oil around the thread, it's created a friction, almost like a pressure. So it builds up like a hydraulic pressure at the base of the bolt head where it's going into the block, because there's nowhere for the oil to go, is there? And it basically can cause the bolts to shear or crack the block. So.
Well, I think for these, because they're just like little tiny screws. Yeah. That you're doing by hand. I think a lot of them are just screws with an open end anyway. So, and you only, the thing is, it really is like the tiny. I just literally touch it to a skin of oil on the bottom of the. Because I've not got an enormous pot. It's literally, there's like that little sort of skin of oil in there. Yeah. Like a millimetre, half a millimetre. I just touch it to that, like right on the tip.
Also, because you're a princess, we know we don't want you to get blisters on your hands for all that screwdrivering.
Well, the thing is, it sounds really stupid, but doing that X-wing, where you're putting screws into the metal frame for the fuselage, and some of those screws are real pigs to get in. Yeah. And, if you're doing like 4 issues of that, it sounds really frail to say it, but it does actually really knacker your hands after a while. Yeah. So if I can do something that makes it easier to get the screws in, it's a lot easier. So it just means the screws go in easier and it's less hassle on my hands. I've seen other people do it. I thought, that's a good idea. I'll try that, and it does work.
Oh, far be it from me.
It's a pain in the bum, but it makes life easier. And at the end of the day, it's something I can sell in the Amazon store. Ding, ka-ching.
I see what you did there.
Yeah. I'm always thinking about that. So you've got to think about what can I do that's something I can.
I'm impressed because I was working on the website earlier on today.
I did see your tweet. I must go and have a look at that.
Doing a similar thing with the store and things. Yep. And yes, I've been playing with that. And yes, tweeted as well, Fox. I did.
I know. I read it. I meant to click on the link, but I was getting ready for this.
I know, I'm doing well. You taught me well. I'm tweeting and everything now.
I don't think I taught you so much as nagged you senseless till you just flipping did it.
I just basically gave in because I got fed up with getting nagged.
Yeah, that's how it works.
I will concede that, you know, it was a valid point at the end of the day, wasn't it? Let's be honest.
Yeah.
So,
because think about it, now you're going to have to be filling in a tax return. You may as well get something out of it.
yeah,
May as well make it worth it.
absolutely.
That'll be your first tax return next year, then, won't it? Next January.
Next January, yeah.
If you need help filling it out,
Yeah,
don't ask me. I don't know.
No, I
wouldn't trust my tax returns.
It's one of them that we like things to be neat, don't we? You know, if we're going over a threshold or beginning to come close to something, I like to know that I'm not going to have the tax man coming after me.
I like things to be neat, but only if there's no effort required in keeping it that way.
Yeah. So for me, it's, well, if that's the case, then I'll just fill in the tax return. And if they say, yeah, blah, blah, blah. I mean, I'm not earning enough to pay income tax, don't get me wrong.
No, you won't. You won't be paying income tax.
You know, we've reached that threshold that we both are aware of, haven't we? And
yeah, the self-certification.
so, you know, it's the next stage, but it's
Self-assessment.
It's now a job.
Yeah.
Who would have thought it?
Because the thing is, at the end of the day, it's taken on trust. The government kind of takes it on trust that you become aware of the threshold and voluntarily do a self-assessment and pay your national insurance contribution. You could quite easily not do that ever and never suffer any consequences.
Yeah.
But there's always the chance that randomly they could become aware or just decide to pick up your details at random and say, where's this money coming from? And then you'd suddenly be knackered. So it's one of those things that it's one of those things that you could probably not do it and get away with it for your entire life, but it's not worth the risk because suddenly owing 40 years worth of income tax is not ideal.
No.
So my thinking it was, well, I may as well just, be honest and
This
do
is
the
it.
damn thing.
At the end of the day, fill it out, and if they're happy, they're happy. If they need more info, they'll ask for it.
Yeah.
I've nothing to hide.
No.
You know, and that's how I see it. And you know, it's not going to impact me pit because you've got a threshold for that anyway. So,
Of course, those might make your tax return a bit more tricky.
yes.
Which is why you don't want to ask me how to do it because I haven't got a clue when it comes to stuff like that.
No. But no, it's one of those. We have a thing with the PIP where anything like that, they get in touch with you and you get all your financial experts, should we say? You know, it's, oh yeah, pop down there. There's people there that can do this, and this, and they'll do all of that for you. Oh, all right then, because that's what they do.
Yeah, I mean, I'd love to get to the point where I can just pay an accountant.
Yes.
Because then I wouldn't have to worry about it. But, aside from the fact I'd be earning enough money to pay an accountant, that'd be nice.
Yeah.
I don't know if that will ever happen. It'd be nice, though.
Yeah. But this is the thing, you know, you don't realise, like I say, you know, especially this year, because obviously the channel went monetised, you know, it starts accumulating, doesn't it? You know, I keep a thorough record of everything, and so I'll print all of that off. There's all the information. That's what's come in. Let me know what you want, and Bob's your uncle.
I'm so lazy. I just do the start of January. I just print out my bank. Well, I just download my bank statement, my PayPal statement, and my Amazon statement, and just work it out. It takes me a couple of hours to go through them all.
Yeah.
Because there's so little transactions in my bank account, I can just go through them in an hour.
Yes.
And say that's this, that's this, that's this one. I know what that is. That one's that one. Great.
Well, this is it, because everything goes into the modelling account. See, so
yeah.
You know, Festa 67's workshop bank account is Festa's, you know, and that's all that goes in. Anything that is to do with the hobby, anything that's coming in from Patreon, YouTube, and then obviously anything I purchase goes out of that account. So,
Nice and simple.
Yeah.
Oh, I've got the sniffles. I'm going to blow my nose. I want to turn my microphone off for a sec.
Yeah, no worries, mate. Edward Leonard says, I would be like, I didn't know. And then they find out it would be a pittance per year. Yeah, I mean, we're not talking millions of pounds here, mate. But it's like anything, because it goes over a certain amount of money, you kind of do a self-assessment just to keep things neat. And I'll probably make a voluntary contribution because it's your national insurance and the NHS, and it goes towards your state pension as well, mate. So that's why we do it, because it helps with our SERPs, doesn't it? State earning related pension scheme, you know. So
yeah, when you do your self-assessment, when you filled it out, there's two possibilities. One is that you've earned enough to be taxed.
yeah.
In which case, the Inland Revenue will tell you how much tax you need to pay, and you have to pay it. Or you've earned less than the threshold that needs for income tax, in which case you don't need to pay anything. You don't owe any income tax, but you can pay a voluntary NICS payment, which is your National Insurance Contribution Scheme.
Yes.
What it basically means is if you earn over a certain amount, you have to pay income tax, and that's your national insurance and everything else. If you earn under that, you can voluntarily pay a token amount so that you've at least got a contribution to national insurance, which is about 150 quid normally a year. So
Yeah.
for the voluntary contribution, you don't have to pay it, but that just means that's less money in your state pension at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And you're not paying for things like health service and public amenities, so you kind of really want to pay it. You can pay more if you want to. It's just a suggested amount. You could pay 10 grand in NICS if you wanted to, but then they'd be like, "Hang on a minute, where does 10 grand come from? Wait a minute." Yeah. Don't try and pull one over pull the wool over the eyes of the taxman. It's not going to work.
Oh no, they're on you, mate. They're not daft.
Where I used to work with my mate, we used to work in retail.
Yeah.
This guy came in once. And he came in and he was like, I'm the tax man, I'm from the HMRC, and we've got a serious issue with your accounts. And my mate, who was also my boss, is a stoic chap, or he's nothing flaps him, but I've never seen his face go white so fast. I could hear him pooping himself.
Oh really?
Oh yeah. And then after about 5 minutes, the guy went, "I can't keep this up. I'm not the tax man. I'm actually a rep for one of the companies. I look and sound so much like a tax man that everybody believes I am."
Yeah.
And it turns out he's known as the tax collector because he looked like a tax man.
Oh really?
And he sounded like a tax man. So everywhere he goes, like meets a new client, he goes in and pretends he's to be from the HMRC and makes him dead nervous.
Oh,
And then says, "Actually, no, I'm from Maguire's," or whatever it was, whichever supplier it was. He was an arse.
Edward Leonard says you could start a company so that you can write it all off.
Well, technically, being self-employed, it is a company. You're just not a registered company. Like Model Making Guru is a business.
Yeah.
It's just not a registered limited company because it's not.
No.
Doesn't make anywhere near enough to be a limited public company. You just have to. Depends where you're in. I know different countries do it different ways, but here in the UK, under a certain threshold, you don't have to be a company. You can either be self-employed, so you are the company, and you're liable, or you can be a public limited company, which is limited liability, but you have to be a certain size and income to be a big public company, or even a limited company, or non-incorporated company. Technically, we're sole traders.
Yes. Yeah, we don't have to register with Companies House.
Nope. So sole traders, you just do, like, Bob Smith the gardener or Ted the roofing contractor, not big enough to go a limited company.
Trading company.
Yep. The downside, of course, is that a sole tradership, if anything goes wrong, you are personally liable. You're not technically a director because you don't have directors in sole traderships, because you are the business, you are the company. So I have been a company director though. You can set up a limited company. You can actually have a limited company without a certain amount of income.
Yeah.
I set up a limited company years ago just to for the website I was doing, just to keep the name locked in, and I was the company director. The profit, there was no income, so it was basically dormant.
Yeah.
Permanently dormant. But that was when I started doing my tax returns, and I hated it, so I just dissolved it. I'm like, screw that. It's far too much.
Yeah, get rid of that. Yeah.
Yeah, but it was cool being a company director. What do you do? I'm a company director. Oh, really? Yeah, I earn nothing. I work in a call centre. Still cool.
Oh, yeah, it's great when you hand out a business card, director.
Oh, yeah. There's somebody round outside riding round on a quad bike or something. I can hear it. Scroat.
Yeah, it is strange how, like you say, it does change, doesn't it, this hobby, as you get more into it and your channel starts taking off and that, you then have to reevaluate stuff.
Yeah.
Because, it's a job now.
At
the end of the day.
I mean, there's always part of me that wishes I could just sit and poodle about at the bench and not have to do content, because it does change the way you see the hobby. But at the same time, that part of my brain is quickly silenced by the part that says, you could be working in a call centre. Oh yeah, shut up.
The thing is, I enjoy making the content purely because I thrive on the feedback. I like it when someone takes the time to go, well, I went out and got me one of them. I watched that video and here it is. And you get to see the fruits of their work and that it's brought them some happiness. So,
oh, yeah.
I find it really rewarding just for that.
I mean, don't get me wrong. It's not that I don't like making. I love making the content. And I do love what I do. And, I absolutely adore it. Like I say, I could be working in a call centre, so hey, there's no problem. But there are times when I just want to be like, I just want to make this model for myself and not have to film it.
Yeah.
But you can't, because maybe it's something I've already filmed, or maybe it's something that I know nobody will watch. So it's quite tricky sometimes.
Yeah.
But don't get me wrong, I'm the same as you. I do this to teach people, and that's my motivation.
Absolutely.
And it's better than working in a call centre. So
I started the channel as a legacy, and it was a way of, without going into too much detail,
it's a way of making your mark on the world.
Yeah, it's a way of making your mark on the world, but also those that you leave behind, it lets them see you in a time when things were good, if you know what I mean. So that's how it came about.
You can watch it and go, wow, that guy's a nutter.
Yeah, look at that silly old sod goofing around. It's a nice, poignant way of them remembering you as you were. And that's what initially I set it up for, because when I first got my diagnosis, it's like anything it does, it knocks you out, doesn't it? It hits you like a bombshell. So it took me a while to get my head around it, but as time has gone on, I've moved away from the legacy idea and more of this is my therapy now. This is what I do.
This is your world. This is what you do.
Well, when they say, you've got progressive relapsing remitting MS, you're like, what's the prognosis? Well, it will kill you. All right then. Suddenly you think, but it's not going to happen tomorrow. You know what I mean? At first you think that, don't you?
Yeah. It could be a long time off. You just don't know.
Absolutely.
You know an idea.
So when I set this all up, it was, well, I'll do it for that, do it for as long as I can, and then it's a legacy, isn't it?
Yeah.
But as time's gone on, it's actually helped me deal and live with the condition.
Yeah, because
it's probably helped it.
Yeah, it's your little island of stability. It's your little oasis. It's your little comfort place.
Yeah, and dare I say, it's probably helped with the condition, me deal with it and manage it better. So yeah.
Well, I mean, there's a certain psychological element to it that's probably been helped by the fact that you've got the respite from doing what you're doing. You're not sitting there constantly moping about.
No.
You know, it's not like you're some chud stuck in an office in a crap job, so you've got to feel stressed and depressed about your job and the fact of the MS. This way, you can be a happy person.
Absolutely. I mean, this was it when I had to take medical retirement. That was, I struggled with it at first because you felt like you was being thrown on the scrap heap. But working with the illness and the progression of it had become untenable.
Yeah.
It wasn't fair on me. And it also wasn't fair on my then employer. Yeah. Because I couldn't be left alone in the workplace. So I always had to have someone with me.
Yeah.
You know, they're trying to manage a business at the end of the day, and you suddenly become, I wouldn't say a burden on the business, but you know what I mean. And
you become, not a liability or a burden, but I know what you mean.
Absolutely. And I'd
you become something to deal with.
Bad turns in the workplace with the MS. And, you know, I'd been, removed on a gurney several times, and it became more and more frequent that these incidences were happening. And I just reached the point where I just sat and said to my employer, look, I'm growing really concerned now that I'm now becoming more of a hindrance to you than an help. And that's messing with my mind. It's upsetting me.
Yeah.
So I think we need to perhaps look at where we're going to go. And the employer went, well, look, we can do this, and this, and see what happens. And that's what we started doing. You know, it was a reduction first in working hours and things like that, and trying to accommodate me in the workplace with aids to help me do the job. But again, even then, with all of that, it still reached that point where it was problematic with keeling over, that sort of thing. And my missus was more worried about things when I was out of the house than when I was there. And
you kind of realise that your days in the chainsaw calibration business
are
kind of done, really.
You know, we used to have regular monthly meetings, and in the end, I just said, look, I think it's time that we need to make the decision. I'm going to go and see my GP and discuss it with her. Let her know where I'm thinking things are. Let her then add her opinion. Yeah. And if it comes to it, we'll all convene together and do it through the right channels. And that's what we did. And my employer was very, dare I say, proud with the way I conducted it and handled it and went about it, because they weren't kicking me out. It was a mutual decision for the benefit of both parties.
Yeah, it's like they did everything they could to try and accommodate you, but you kind of realise, look, you're having to do so much to make it work for me. You may as well just get someone who can just do the job.
Absolutely.
Without all that extra work involved.
Yeah, they was as good as gold about it, but they also appreciated that I had been honest with them, you know, and it was like, nah, you know, it's
nice that they went to the effort, but you know.
Yeah, and it was a very, very amicable process, you know. Whereas some of the people that worked there thought that I was getting nerfed out. They went, "Oh, they're doing this, they're doing." I said, "No, they're not. This is mutual, you know. It's best for all of us, because there's going to be something's going to go disastrously wrong that is then going to be really affect my life, and probably whoever's been around or the duty manager when that happens, it's going to affect them."
Yeah.
And I don't want that, and they don't need that. So
there's only so much that an employer can do, to the point where the person is no longer really feasibly able to do the job they're there for. Then it's diminishing returns, isn't it? It's like the employer's going to feel bad because they've got a member of staff who you know can't do the job.
Oh yeah, it's frustrating,
not through their own fault,
because
the employee feels bad because they realise they can't do the job as well anymore, and then they're, like you said, they feel like they're a burden, and it's like it's not an ideal situation.
Oh, they had seen the things I had done, and I'd developed computer programs and software applications with them, and they still use all of that, and I get a payment each month off of them for it. And there's been a couple of times they've rung up and gone, "Oh, are you able to remote access and have a look at it?" Yeah, no worries. It's all very amicable and all very cordial, and I like that. That's what I like, because it was done right. When it come to the PIP assessments and all of that lot, you know, it was whatever you need, we'll provide.
Yeah.
What
That's
you
good.
know, and any concerns that they have, you know, tell them to get in touch, and that's what we did. And you know, they was really good.
That's the thing now, though, with everything that's gone on for the last year and a half, and with, like, you know, teleworking and remote working and working from home is now like it's now mainstream.
Yes.
There's potential there for you to do that kind of stuff as a little side
Yes.
thing, whereas, you know, before all this lockdown and COVID and everything, teleworking was like, you know, it wasn't something that really happened, but now it's become the norm.
Yeah.
There's a potential there for you, because what would be better than you doing that kind of IT work that you can do from home?
Well, this is it.
You can
This
do from
is
that
what I was
bench.
saying to the missus recently. Whereas I felt I was on the scrap heap, there may be opportunities that come out post the world being on fire.
Yeah.
That didn't exist 14 months ago.
Yeah, because, you know,
So there
employers-
might be an opportunity of me being employed by someone, but doing it from here.
Yeah, because that's the thing. If you've got an expertise in something that's non-skilled, when I say non-skilled, I mean it's not manual, it's not physical. You
It's
don't
such
need
a
to.
non-physical
Yeah.
role, and my presence isn't required in the workplace, should we say.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a white collar job.
Yes.
Then absolutely, you've got just as much potential then as anybody else. Your MS doesn't really cause you a problem there if you're working
No.
from home. But that's the thing is now, because of you know, COVID, it's now an acceptable norm to telework. Employers are more than happy to pay people not to come to work
Yeah.
and to work from home, because they don't have to rent the premises. They don't have to pay for, you know, buildings. They can do it all from home. So
This is
remember-
the thing, you know, it's opening up different prospects and opportunities. I mean, I shall see what happens and where things go with it, but yeah, you don't feel that you've been written off so much now.
no, because I mean, you know, if you're doing an IT based job, that's typing. I'm pretty sure you can do typing,
Yeah.
and I'm pretty sure you'll be able to do typing for quite a long time yet.
Yeah.
So,
Could you imagine if they asked me to do a presentation? Hello, geez, all right, how you
oh,
doing?
guys, yeah, you'd be like, no, I'm more kind of back office, man. I'm more kind of like the structure, not the presentation. I'll build the software for you, but I'm not going to show
Yeah,
you.
you
to
might
use it.
want me to work in the back end database admin room. Yeah.
That's the thing. So there's potential there now, you know, that kind of software work.
Absolutely.
That just wouldn't have. I remember when I once applied for it was called teleworking in those days. I applied for a teleworking job once because I changed jobs, and it was like I can work from home, and it was call centre work. I think it was working for Sky through a third party company. It would have been Sky
right,
Customer
yeah.
Service. This is going back like 15 years, and that was like new and unheard of at the time. So it was literally like they literally sent me a disk with Firefox on, because their OS was built on Firefox. Don't ask me
Yeah.
why. I have no idea why. What call center company runs their remote connection software on Firefox? No idea. Anyway,
Who knows?
so they sent me a Firefox disk. I'm like, what the hell's this crap? It's not Windows. This is nonsense.
Mozilla.org. What's going on?
It's not even Linux. What? So they sent me that, and they sent me the little phone turret, and a headset.
Yeah.
So I basically had to get a phone line installed, and I would have plugged the turret into the phone line, like a little office phone, like
Yeah.
a little call set, and then a headset, and I'd be like, "Good afternoon, Sky. How can I help you?" But just after they sent me all the hardware and software, I got a different job anyway. So,
Yeah.
but it was notable for two things. Is one, this was kind of before home working was even a thing. Really, it was very rare. So they called it teleworking.
Yeah.
And it was like, wow, this is amazing. But also it meant I did my actual interview naked, because it was all over the phone. It was fantastic.
Yeah. It's brilliant, isn't it?
They're like, we'll phone you and book an interview at 8 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, what the fuck? So I was like, I've just got out of bed.
Yeah.
So I'm like, well, I've not even got dressed. So I'm just going to sit here stark bollock naked and do my job interview. And they called me back and said, that was the most impressive interview we've ever done. I'm like, I was naked. Dude, awesome.
Panzer Koenig says he'd pay good money to see a Festa presentation. They were known to happen on a regular occurrences when I was a manager at HMSO. And yeah, many a giggle could be heard because I have a way of. You probably noticed I do have a way of wording things that is a bit different than the norm.
Is that HMSO with an H?
Yeah, a magistrate's stationery office.
A magistrate's.
Yeah, and all.
Oh, stop sticking to my arm instructions. God damn it.
Yeah, I've had to move mine because they was getting a bit...
Yeah, I keep moving them, but they keep wheedling their way back in somehow. I don't quite know how this is happening. Yes.
Yeah, this won't be an all-nighter, folks.
So you had to do presentations on, like, window envelopes and...
Yeah, it was all, business model stuff, wasn't it? And
yeah,
quarterly figures and, distribution centre performance. And I know.
Where I used to work in the civil service is great because we had the stores room downstairs.
Yeah.
Government office. So but because of the job I did, not only was it envelopes, treasury tags, which you couldn't get anywhere else apart from the civil service, treasury tags, paper clips, and not really post-it notes because they didn't really exist then. Treasury tags, notebooks, things like that, but also motorbike helmets, biker boots, because it was a vehicle test. It was driving test. So they had all the gear for the motorbike examiners as well. So I was down there, I was like, oh, what do I have to fill in to get a pair of these motorbike boots? Because they look like Batman boots. And he went, yeah, you're not going to get a pair of them. I went, oh, God damn it.
Yeah, some of the things that there used to be there was unbelievable. Used to be, it's like anything. It's a government company, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
When you work for anything that was back then, it was before the Blair government privatised everything. And, so the bureaucracy and the wastage of money was phenomenal.
I always remember, because I used to work in the driving standards agency, so we booked driving tests.
Yeah.
And then after a while, I started doing heavy goods vehicles tests. Same office.
Right, yeah.
This is in the early 90s. But I always wanted to go and work in their stores room, in the stores and stationery room, because I said to the guy in there, I said, "What do you actually do all day?" And he went, "Drink tea."
Yeah.
Sit around. Occasionally, when anybody puts a stores order in, we get all the bits, we put them in a basket, and we wheel them upstairs.
Yeah.
We come back downstairs and drink more. I said, "I want your job."
Oh yeah.
I said, literally, you just pick and pack. He went, yeah. We just get your stores order, put it in a basket, bring it up to you. That's it. He said, we don't even order the store stuff. It just turns up. So we literally just sit here and make sure people don't come in and take stuff.
We had one bloke, and we used to call him Skoda. He, in the time I was there, all you ever see him doing was walking around with a clipboard.
Yep.
Couple of bits of paper on it. And one day I got chatting one or the other. I said, what is it he actually does? He said, well, I've been here 6 years. He said, no, I can't tell you. He said, he turned up for a job and no one really knew what job to give him. So he was just told to go around and count things. I said, but who does he report to and where does he give these things that he count? Where's the... He said, well, I don't know. Yeah. He was getting paid a good wage for doing pretty much perpetual inventory, they ended up calling it.
That's my kind of job.
And it was like, he said, well, I don't know who I report to. He said, I don't know who to ask questions to. He said, so I just do what they told me at the interview. I count stuff. There's 10 of them over there. On the clipboard it goes. He said, who'd you give it to? He said, no one. He said, just stays on the clipboard. I'm like, how have you got away with this?
Has he just got like an office full of clipboard files then?
Yeah, there was just this drawer full up with, random sort of slightly tea-stoned and grovelly bits of fucking paper, basically.
Oh, that's my kind of... I'd love a job like that. It was
brilliant. I said, but does anyone enter this into the system? Does anyone check what? No. Because by the time I've filed it, someone's been along, picked a couple of them for an order, and then the number's different. So I go back and I count it again.
Perpetual stock take.
Yeah, and that's pretty much what he did all year long. And I'm like,
wow.
Amazing. And he was still there when I left.
Huh? See, I'd love a job like that where there's no responsibilities, no commitments. You just go in, do some really simple tasks that I can just daydream while I'm doing it and then go home.
I mean, fair play to him, if there was something that you was looking for, he knew where it was.
Yeah.
He could find the unfindable in that place because it was, you know what government sites are like. They're massive, massive complexes, acres and acres of warehouses. And you'd say to him, I'm looking for that BL 51B. He said, just behind the box of purple post-it notes.
Yeah.
And you'd go there, and there it was. I'm like, how does he know this?
I'm looking for a right ratcheting router player. No, it's just over there behind the self-stealing stem bolts.
Yeah, and you'd be like, the guy knew where every single thing was. So I suppose he had a use.
Now, see, if you got past episode 5, you would have recognised that Deep Space Nine reference there.
Yeah, I didn't, mate.
You didn't, did you?
No.
Why didn't you recognise it? Because I'm
useless. I am useless. I'm shoddy.
Past episode 5.
I've not listened to the wisdom of Fox.
Yes.
I've let you down. I've let you down, Mama Fox down, and the whole community down.
You've let everybody down.
And I've let myself down.
That's even worse. Yeah. And you've let, you know who else you've let down? The baby Jeebus.
No.
The baby Jeebus. You have let down the baby Jeebus.
No.
Yeah. You've let down the baby Jeebus.
I can feel the fingers of shame being wagged as we speak.
I know. See, every time you see, you can never ever make, until you resolve the situation, you can never ever make a 6-episode joke to me ever again.
That's cruel.
You can't, can you? Because I'll just say episode 5, and you'll go, oh.
Of course.
Yeah. See, so that ammunition's been removed now.
Damn, that was my only ammunition I had on you.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, I hadn't just thought of that now.
Other than Two Dudes Fox, of course, because, you know.
I've not made 2 dudes. I've made
one
and
well,
dude.
Like, you've been building lots and lots. I've been mightily impressed.
How dare you double my production abilities? Oops, dropping. We've not looked at chat for a while, have we? Wow.
I know we are bad.
Panzer's in. Panzer Koenig.
Hello, mate. He says all government agencies waste money, usually on managers. Absolutely, mate.
Mm-hmm. Oh, burpage.
I thoroughly enjoyed my time working for HMS. I went from literally picking and packing up the ladder, and yeah.
I looking back on it now, when I used to work at the DSA, I wasn't happy there, and I used to like phone in sick a lot. But looking back on it now, I was stupid.
Yeah.
Because it was literally, you go in. This is the routine. When I was doing normal civilian driving tests, you go in. You can wear whatever the hell you want, because there's only one driving standards agency. There's no competition. There's no private driving test company, so they don't care what you wear. So I could walk in biker jacket, combat boots, hair down to my arse, whatever I wanted. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I'd walk in. I'd sit down at my desk. I would log into the terminal. I would input 120 driving test applications, which would take me about an hour, because we had the power hour. We'd just have this thing. We'd all go like that and put all these. We could type in driver numbers, but just without even looking.
Yeah.
We could book all these in, give them all dates, and after that hour, that was it.
Yeah. Done.
We then had 6 or 7 hours of, if the phone rings, they're probably just calling to book a driving test or query a driving test. But at the end of the day, there's only one driving test agency. They take what you get. They get what they're given. Yeah. So it was the easiest job in the world, and I wish I hadn't left it now. I could have still been there.
It's one of those,
30 years later.
I mean, it's that old statement, isn't it? Better the devil you know.
Yeah. And then I went on to different jobs for more money, because it wasn't well paid. But at the end of the day, it was such a non-job. Because I'd spend 5 hours a day. We used to get the thing that printed off the driving test cards.
Oh, right, yeah.
Card. It was an old ribbon printer with the print cartridge was like 1.5 foot long.
Yeah.
And it was the daisy print with the ribbon that goes around. So when they ran out, the printer cartridge, we'd take it out, and it's like a big long plastic thing with 2 bits on the end.
Yeah.
And a ribbon. So we'd snap one off, glue it in the middle, and that'd be a machine gun.
Oh,
And
of course, yeah.
we'd run around the office with these like printer rifle machine guns, messing about. It was great. That was our job in the civil service.
Oh yeah, we became a dab hand at paper toss, you know, with the old waste bins.
Oh yeah.
All kinds of obstacles and hoops would be made to get these things through, and it was like, yeah, fans would come into it as well.
Oh yeah.
Desktop fans, so that you could get a draft. So you had to, yeah, you know.
I mean, this is going back so far for me that I remember when the PDQ machines came in.
PDQ
for paying over the phone. This was unheard of.
Shock horror.
I know. I mean, don't forget, when I started, we didn't even have computers. We had a dumb terminal. It was
coming out with such a thing.
It was a yellow, not even a green screen. It was a yellow screen dumb terminal connected to DVLA in Swansea.
That's just inconsiderate, mate.
I know. So I mean, but no, this was technology of the day. So yeah. So suddenly being able to take a payment over the phone on a machine. This is the future. This is insanity. What is this nonsense? And of course, it never worked.
No.
And they always run out of paper.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Fax machines.
It's like, all right, they'd be like, right, Fox, today, yeah, you're not on the phones today. Okay, you've got to staple all the PDQ receipts to the driving test cards.
Yeah.
Okay, that'll take me 5 minutes. Cool.
Yeah.
Or you'd be the one that stood. Occasionally, you'd be put in charge of the print run. So you go over to the terminal, you'd print, and it'd print like 5,000 driving test cards. It'd churn them out, and you just have to shovel them all into a bag, and then put the bag to the side for somebody else to come and collect it. That was it. Occasionally, it might. It was on one of those like looms, you know, like the computer paper that's in like a loom where it kind of like a concertina. It was like that, and it would print them out on that.
Yeah.
And then that would go down to the end where there's like a blade that would guillotine them.
Yeah.
And occasionally it might jam up or go a bit wonky, but you know, you just it's great. So looking back on it, it was probably the best, easiest job I ever had. But I wanted more money, and I went for other jobs that I hated. I should have stayed at that job, really.
That's the thing, innit? No amount of money can bring you job satisfaction or happiness.
And every day, because we were a few yards down from a pub. Because I used to work in Old Trafford, so just down the road from the office, which isn't there anymore, is the Tollgate pub.
Yeah.
Which anybody that goes to Lord's Cricket Ground might know. It's near Old Trafford, cricket ground. So we used to go from the office, walk 5 feet down the road to the pub.
Yeah.
Every day would be a couple of pints and a curry, and then back to the office. And that was the management as well. That wasn't just thee and me. That was the management and everything.
Oh, fair play.
It literally was pub for a couple of pints and curry, and then back to work to answer the phone lazily for about an hour. Because nobody ever called. You didn't get that. You got like 10 calls a day. It was insane.
Well,
it was so cool. Them's were the days.
Yeah, sadly, jobs like that probably don't exist now, mate.
No. Not at all. And I can't believe, looking back now, I can't believe I used to be like, I can't bother going to work today. I'll phone in sick. So, there was nothing to do. You just had a laugh with your workmates.
This is the thing, innit? Is sort of think back to some of the jobs we had. You're like, yeah, should have stayed there.
Yeah. I often wonder what happened to a lot of the people. The scary thing is, right, I don't remember most of the names. I remember a couple of people's names. I remember the people, but just not their names. But I often wonder what happened to a lot of the people they used to work with there. Some of them are probably dead by now. But there's a lot of people.
Now, is there a law to say that I can't put everything in the box on this one kit?
There's actually a law that says you must do that because Festa.
Yeah.
It is the law of festification. You should know this. It's got your name on it.
I'm just thinking that...
I wouldn't think.
It looks a bit naked. It's at that sort of stage where, pardon me, the instructions are saying, and place it on the correct stand. And it's like, really? It needs more guns. It needs more...
Yeah, do more.
So, I've got.
I mean, the one thing you will find if you do end up doing an army is that you can make what you want, but you can't play it as necessary. If you're playing with like 40 guns on it, you couldn't actually play it as a plane with 40 guns on it.
Oh, absolutely. But yeah, can you imagine Festa turning up and playing a game at his Warhammer shop?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, but you've got that big area where you could have a big 6x4 table in your house accidentally.
Yeah, I can imagine the Doris would have something to say about that.
If it keeps you out of her way.
Good shout. God, notice how enthusiastic I was there.
I'm not even married and I know the tricks. Don't look half as stupid. Don't look half as stupid as I am, you know.
You know better than I do the way to wheedle your way around my missus, mate.
Yeah. Well, I'm half Scottish, so.
Absolutely. The minute you say it'll get him out from under your feet, you've won.
Absolutely. It is the order of things. What the hell is this? What the?
Oh,
that's not how this goes together.
That's the sound of a confused fox.
Yeah. Well, this dude is standing. I mean, bless him. It's quite cool. He's standing on a load of nurglings.
Oh, right, yeah.
Which is a bit cruel, but I don't quite see how it goes together. Oh, I get it. I get it. I get it. I get it now. I understand.
Lynn's saying we can't have a naked jet.
A what?
Lynn is saying we can't have a naked jet. As I said, it looks a bit naked without all the guns and that on.
Oh, I see. Yeah. I wonder what he meant then. Okay, I just figured out how that went together, and now I put the glue on. I can't figure out how it goes together.
Yeah, that's because we're men of a certain age and we forget. Like goldfish.
I literally just figured it out, and then I suddenly unfigured it out the moment I start gluing things together. Well, just goddamn.
See, this is your left side of your brain conspiring against you again, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Come on, I've just oh, you absolute twat waffle.
Flange handles.
Ah, there we go, I think. Do we? Flange handles. Handles for flanges. I can't believe it's doing that to me. Right, there we go. Get. Do. Yeah, what I was thinking on your Dakar jet there was if you get a load of, I can't remember if you get extra wings in it or not.
Yeah, there are.
But if you've got like a fixed wing, 2-wing aircraft, but yet in the kit you have 4 wings, you can see where I'm going with that, can't you?
Yeah, I can.
Thinking biplane. I'm thinking biplane here.
Yeah, there is additional wingage. Ooh.
Steady, Neris. I'd get that seen to if I were you. What's that noise?
That's my missus making a cup of tea.
Oh, it kind of sounded like a kind of beverage making fluid kind of noise. Hello, H.
Yeah.
Why is your missus up at 2 in the morning making a cup of tea?
Because she's going to work, mate.
Oh, I didn't realise she worked nights.
Yeah, she works at night, mate.
Hello, H.
She can't hear you, mate. Got a bloody earpiece in your pillow.
No, but you're supposed to pass it on, you spoon.
Oh, Fox says hello, love. Hello back, she says.
Hey, hugs to H. I forgot to say Mama Fox passed on hugs before we started.
See you later, my leg over. Yeah. Oh, did she? She all right, is she?
Yeah. Have a good day, work day.
Yeah. Yeah, no, she works overnight because she gets left to her own devices.
Oh, yeah. That's a good way. I remember working nights many years ago.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely loved night work.
Right, if I put this cloak on this dude here,
so,
can I get into the back of the cloak to paint it?
I reckon they can go on there. Can't have too many weapons.
Yeah, of course you can't. To say such things is heresy.
Yeah, it's a Wazbomb, blaster jet. Let's have loads of stuff on that you can blast.
Blah, 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 blast.
And there are going to be additional There's going to be additional bits in there. It's got to be.
Gentlemen, prepare your additional bits. I think I'm going to be able to paint this chap with his cloak on, I think.
Candygram says global hellos to Festa's H. Yeah, bless her.
Yep.
And I passed on all the sentiments from people that was wishing her get well soon as well. And
Good.
She was most humbled.
Yeah, Panzer says a naked fox is acceptable, but a naked Festa jet is a no-no.
Yeah, can't have it, mate, can we?
I'm kind of amused that they consider a naked fox acceptable. I beg to differ. And Panzer says, yes, but I need a gallon of mind bleach to remove the image.
Yeah, it's an image on your retinas, mate. It's there now. You've only got yourself to blame for putting it there.
Paul Di Tommaso says, the kids got me an early Father's Day gift, Resident Evil Village for Xbox. I've had it for a few days now and I've already finished it.
No. Don't let them know, though.
Yeah. Oh, I'm still playing it, Get yourself some Skyrim and Fallout going on. That'll keep you going. I'll tell you what I'm playing at the minute, though.
What's that, mate?
Because I do Skyrim and Fallout, for stream.
Yeah.
To streaming content. I've got none of these things to stick on arse magnets. It's becoming problematic for me to play those games in my own time. Steady in errors.
Yeah.
Because I'm finding myself like I've just been here. Spider pig. I've just been here in my YouTube playthrough, and now I'm going through it. And it's getting a bit impractical.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, I can't do the same thing, and now I'm doing the same thing again. It takes the edge off it. So I've started playing No Man's Sky, which I started playing before, but I've never got very far with it. But now I'm really enjoying it. Yeah. How the Satan's chuffed is this supposed to go on? Good God, Games Workshop. This is nonsense. Yes, I've been playing No Man's Sky, and it's perfect for me because you just don't actually have to do anything.
Oh, that's even better then.
You're basically given the entire Milky Way, or a fictitious version of the Milky Way. They say it's basically like Minecraft kind of thing. Yeah. But it's like you're in a galaxy. Off you go. There is a storyline.
Far away?
No, not quite. There is a storyline, but you can ignore it if you want. And all you've got to do is farm materials to craft a better ship and better spacesuit, and off you go. Bye.
Happy days.
And I'm like, wait, so there's no reason to do anything? It's like, no. Do whatever you want. And I'm like, kick ass. And I tried it a few years ago when it was still kind of half. They've been doing lots of additions and updates to it, and they've made it much better now. It used to be one of those games that you come away with a headache.
Yeah. Because
it wasn't fun to play. But nowadays, it's actually they've streamlined it so much that it's actually fun to play.
Yeah, I must admit, it's something I need to get more into. Get back doing some gaming. I haven't done it for so long then.
All right.
That's a good way to relax.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, normally like Skyrim and Fallout are my go-to, just mong out and just sit there pootling about for several hours. Of course, I can't do that anymore because I'm playing it on the telly box as well. So
yeah,
now it's like No Man's Sky is that.
I can go and do that's epic though, isn't it?
Well, in No Man's
Sky,
Skyrim. Oh, in Skyrim. Oh, absolutely.
Love it.
I'll still play it from time to time, but yeah, at least No Man's Sky, it's all fresh and new, and I'm not having to think I've been here 5 times this week already.
Yeah.
This guy's looking kind of mean and moody. I like this guy. So yeah, but it's kind of a weird game. It really is like a kind of like Minecraft kind of thing.
Yeah.
Literally, you start off on a planet with a tool that's both a weapon and a mining tool.
Yeah.
You extract materials. You use those materials to make upgrades for your ship and to sell. And there's a storyline, but I've got no idea what it is because I'm kind of loosely following it, very, very loosely. I think the storyline is basically get to the centre of the galaxy.
Yeah.
Whenever you want. You don't have to if you don't want to. I'm like, okay, cool. Maybe I never will.
Nim's asking, so she says, what's everyone been up to today? What have you been up to, Nim?
Yeah. What have you been up to, Cole?
Me? Working on my website, mate.
Working on my website. That sounds like a sort of like a vaudeville. Have you seen me washboard kind of song?
I've been working on my
Website.
See, spontaneity there, folks. See, you don't get this on other live streams.
Don't forget I'm northern, so for me it's more, I was working on my website on the corner around the street. We're going to have to look up some other Flanagan Allen songs.
We are.
Because all I can see is the both of them do that kind of shuffly left and right dance they used to do, which is like shuffling.
Yeah, fold the brim up on me pork pie hat, man.
Oh, God, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because as far as I'm concerned, Flanagan and Allen were always old.
Yes.
Was it not one of those two that sang the Dad's Army theme?
It was, wasn't it?
Was it Bud Flanagan?
I think it was Bud Flanagan, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Who do you think you are kidding, Mr. Riddler? God, we are officially old, aren't we?
Yeah. The thing is, it was such a brilliant sort of pastiche of the wartime songs. Though it was so spot on. So it's like, if you actually listen to the full theme song, there's like a whole bit in the middle that you never normally hear on the theme scene.
Yeah.
Mr. Brown goes into town on the 841. When he gets back home again, he's ready with his gun. But there's an extra bit. What is it? Something. Oh, God, I can't remember it now.
It's going to bug you now.
If you think you've got us beat, If you think we're beat, then I'm afraid you've missed the bus. So, who do you think you're... So, yeah, there's like a little extra bit of the chorus. Something, you've met your match in us. If you think you've got us beat, we're afraid you've missed the bus. So, yeah, so really...
Do you think you are kidding, Mr. It?
Such a good song. Such a good series. Everybody should watch Dad's Army. It was indeed Bud Flanagan. Edward Leonard finished a Lego Ghostbusters Ecto-1 and put lights and sounds into it. Hang on.
Oh, good man.
Hang on.
Good ding.
That's a Fox ding. It's not really. It doesn't really work.
Yeah, it's not great, is it?
I've got
the ding we've got though. We need to get a ding, don't we?
It's a glass on my bench. I can't have it floating in midair to ding properly. Unfortunately, let's try.
Ted's got the best ding.
I can ding the microphone, but it just sounds like a thump. I haven't got a ding thing. I've not got a ding that will ring.
A ring a ding.
Ding. Rumpa-pum-pum, rumpa-pum. God, I hate that song. Right, anyway. Lord of Contagion. Continued. Getting my RC buggy ready to race tomorrow. Finish is just 5 minutes ago. Now I have to pack everything up. And Lynn says, good luck on the race. Go, William, go. Yeah, good luck with the race. Some of those shells he put up on the boom hut and in your group, paint jobs, he's like, they're not very good paint jobs. Yeah, and he's like, they're not very good. I'm like, you're fucking joking, aren't you? They're amazing.
Yeah, it's like, yeah.
I'm afraid they're not very good. Shut up.
Yeah, it's like, yeah.
Stop talking. Really? You just want to say to someone, stop using words now. I've got the Dad's Army theme in my head now, but I can't sing it because of the copyrights. Right, I think I can paint all the stuff on this dude if he's fully assembled. I think I should be alright. I think we should be okay. I think I can safely go ahead and assemble his arms onto his body.
His arms onto his body.
His arms onto his body, George. Jeffrey. I don't know where that just came from.
Jippy.
He's a twanger.
Bloody hell, bungle.
Did you ever see the...
Freddie died today as well, by the way.
What, from Rod, Jane and Freddie?
Yeah. Oh. Yeah, R.I.P. Freddie, mate.
Oh, yeah. I was gonna say, did you ever see the videos that appeared on YouTube about 10 years ago, which were like, it was Zippy, Bungle, and George.
Yeah.
in a Escort Cosworth roof off. Soft, and basically like Zippy was just absolutely tanked on coke.
Yeah.
And he was out was like, you know, blasted out of his mind on coke, and they got stopped by the police. And it's like, oh shit! I don't know where they came from. It sounded like the original voice actors, so I don't know where they came from. Yeah. But they were definitely not children friendly.
God, Rainbow. Oh, staple diet of British TV, that was.
Apparently that whole thing with twangers was like a video, an in-house spoof video.
Oh, right.
Like filmed for a staff party or something, or filmed for like an internal use only. Oh, I've been playing with my twanger. Oh.
And then it kind of didn't stay for internal use.
It kind of leaked. Right, Festa, my boy, look at this chap.
I know, I'm suitably impressed.
Look at that. He's got his guts hanging out and everything. That's just gross.
Oh, look at him.
He's got guts hanging out. He's got pitting and rust. He's standing on nurglings, which seems a bit cruel.
Oh, I'm mightily impressed.
I do find it amusing sometimes when Games Workshop give guys like a dynamic pose. Let me put that in focus. It's not even in focus, is it? They give somebody a dynamic pose, but they do what all of us have done at one point or another when we've made figures. If anyone out there is an artist and does drawing, Nim will know this. When you draw a figure and you give them a fantastic pose, but you realise one of the feet's like floating in midair.
Yeah.
So you have to do a tactical rock.
Yeah.
Or in this case, tactical nurglings.
Yeah, it's like, we need to put something over his foot because he's like,
Yeah, look at that.
God, that's a beautiful cast.
And you've got all this stuff here is like smoke coming from these sensors. I hate that kind of smoke, but you've got to paint it. So you've got those skulls on the top, and you've got that bit. That's just fantastic. That's the Lord of Contagion. You can see what I'm going to enjoy. Look at this. All his guts are hanging out because his armor's just ripped open.
You're going to have a field day with that.
Oh yeah. And all this like wrapping on his axe handle. And that's just one. I mean, you know, I've got all these other guys. I suddenly realised, like, all these guys, I've just picked up a load of them and I've just stabbed myself like 6 times. All these guys, right? This is 20 Poxwalkers.
Yeah.
And 6 Death Guard.
Oh, bloody hell.
Right, this is 20 Poxwalkers. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not in focus now anyway, but yeah, that's 20 Poxwalkers and 6 Plague Marines. In the box, the Combat Patrol box, I've got 40 Poxwalkers I need to build.
Bloody hell.
And 6 more of these guys. And in my Conquest stuff, I've already got about 60 Poxwalkers. And they're all going to need painting.
Oh, you're going to be ruining that then. Oh, and he's dropped out. Mind you, he's done pretty well tonight. It's the first time he's dropped out. Oh, just let him back in. But that ain't bad. That's the first time you've dropped out tonight,
I know,
mate.
I was doing so well and all.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you think this is a lot? I've got double this to make yet.
Yeah.
I do enjoy them though. They're going to be great fun to paint. So
it happens to Big Chris as well in our hangouts. He drops out quite a bit.
Yeah, it must be a specific thing to specific. I don't know. It must be something specific to something I've got on my computer that maybe he has as well.
Yeah.
I know. Then again, you've had it once, so you've had.
I've had it once. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I get StreamYard crash now. If I go into StreamYard, pardon me, after I've been using OBS, it'll crash. I have to reboot my system.
Yeah, I mean that could be
an OBS hang, though, couldn't it? So.
Yeah, it could be a memory leak. The one thing I do find with slobs, is it OBS or Streamlabs?
OBS Studio.
Oh, so not slobs, no.
No.
Okay, no, forget it then. I was going to say slobs sometimes doesn't fully shut down properly. You have to task manager it out.
That's right. This is OBS Studio that it does it in as well.
Yeah, I don't know if that does it the same thing then. If ever you find that you can't open OBS, if you've had it open and you close it and then you try and open it again, it won't open. This is what happens in slobs. I don't know about OBS, but in slobs what you'll do is if you go into Task Manager, it'll still be there in Task Manager, but there could be about 8 instances of it.
Oh, right, yeah.
And you have to close them all down and then you can start it again.
That weird.
And it's also if you do a stream and you press stop.
Yeah.
Oh no, if you're doing a recording, sorry, in slobs, like you're recording some audio, you're just doing a quick recording test or something, like you want to record some footage, and you press stop on the record button and it doesn't stop.
Right.
Again, it's the same thing if you go into Task Manager, there'll be like 8 instances of it.
Strange, isn't it?
It's weird. It still stops the recording. It's like a lot of times you press stop on the stream and it won't stop. It won't shut down, but the stream itself will actually stop. But
yeah, it's one of them, mate. It's just little glitches, isn't it?
yeah, slobs does fall over all the time, but thankfully it keeps the stream going, so you never notice. It recovers itself.
Yeah.
That's why I think my StreamYard buttons stop working every now and then. Yeah, so all of these guys, I've got twice as much of that to make now. And I've not even finished this yet because I've still got 2 guys left to build. I'm loving it though. They are fun.
I know. You look well away. This is why I was thinking of grabbing a set of dudes. I'll have a looky-loo when I get paid. And yeah.
If you are looking at, if you just want to make dudes just to have fun painting dudes, it doesn't matter what you buy in that case. But
yeah,
if you're looking at building up an actual fighting force,
yeah.
Then I don't know if the orks start collecting set still exists. For a long time they had start collecting sets which were 60 or 70 or 80 quid of the dudes for about 50 quid.
Oh,
it was a small combat force, it was like the minimum size combat force.
Oh right, yeah.
They've got rid of them now, and a lot of them are the combat patrols, which is in the new edition. It's like the smallest sort of force of combat you can have.
Yeah,
it's usually some grunt troops and a couple of special troops that are heavy of some sort.
Yeah,
and they're about 60 or 70 quid. But if you can find the start collecting orks, that's 50 quid for about 80 quid of the stuff.
Yeah,
it's a whole mess of dudes. So, but they're not in print anymore. So, but yeah, orks are great. I think I'll have a lot of fun with orks. I'm taking my rings off because I'm too sweaty. My rings were too sweaty. Lynn Dipple says, who is that? This is a Death Guard Lord of Contagion. That big one I was showing.
Yeah.
He's a Lord of Contagion. He's not a big, massive named character, but he's a boss level character. So these are like Plague Marines. These are bog standard like Plague Marines. They're like Space Marines, but evil. And he's a bit like a captain, I suppose.
Yeah.
For these big guys. These thin dudes are poxwalkers. They're just grunt troops. They're mindless zombies. They're just kind of fodder. The Marines are Plague Marines. And then he's like a captain, I guess. Oops. He's like a captain, so he'd be like in charge of these guys. That's why he gets a bigger base, because he's more important, you see.
Yeah. More important.
But it's like I'm gagging to get painting Mortarion. Because I need to get him painted up, because I'm looking forward to painting all the rot and rust and corrosion on his armor. I've watched the Warhammer TV method of painting him. I've watched a few other videos just to get ideas. Yeah. And I think I know how I want to paint him now, and I can't wait. I've been trying to get painted for the last 3 weeks, and it's not actually happened. But I can't wait to paint. And it's like on this guy as well. All the corrosion that's built into all the little holes and pits and the guts hanging out, all rot and decay and rust. I can't wait to paint it. Ooh.
It's going to be in your element, mate.
Yeah, it's just filth and dirt and filth. There won't be any clean, crisp lines on these guys.
So you're going to have some dirty, dirty, dirty fun.
Well, the thing is, if you look at the box art for these guys, they're beautifully painted, but they're kind of cleanly painted.
Oh,
so
right, yeah.
They've got like the green and bronze armour with little holes and little sort of, little holes and pock marks and stuff like that. But they still look clean.
Mm.
They don't. If I'll show you, like if you look at Mortarion, I don't know if it'll come out on camera, but if you look at this guy, he's got lots of pock marks.
Spun your full screen, mate.
He's got lots of pock marks on his armour.
Yeah.
He's got all these pock marks here and there. I can't really see it. Like pock marks, and they've put some like little brown wash in there to make them look dirty and dark. But they're he's still kind of clean. Yeah. His armour's just his bronze parts are kind of clean and shiny. His weapon's all clean, and all the metallics are nice and silver. It's like he's the Lord of Contagion. He's
why is he that clean? Yeah, he should be.
He's pestilence and disease and plague.
Yeah.
He's cancer and sickness and death
Yeah, he should have
incarnate.
flies swarming round him, shouldn't he?
Well, he has actually got flies in his clouds at the back, but he should be like filthy and dirty and dripping with like, you know, rust and corrosion.
Yeah.
There's even a paint in the Games Workshop range called Nailac Oxide, and it's like verdigris for brass.
Oh, right, yeah.
And so it needs verdigris on his bronzy bits as well. So yeah, I'll be painting them filthy and disgusting.
Good man.
Yeah, none of this. They're very pretty and beautiful, but they're too clean.
Yeah, don't want none of this namby-pamby niceties, mate.
They look a bit Southern Poncy, not Northern filth.
Yay.
But then again, when I say Southern Poncy, I mean like London. I don't mean like, London City, Poncy, Filofax nonsense. Porsches.
Yuppies.
Yeah, yappies. I don't mean like proper London Southerners who are like normal people.
Right.
You're
Wheedling your way out of it then.
No. I mean, you're a Poncy Southerner, but at least you're a rough around the edge Poncy Southerner, so you're a token Northerner.
Stuff, rock at him. Got some front.
Because as far as us Northerners are concerned, Cockneys like yourself, you're kind of token Northerners.
Yeah.
You're like our cousins in the south. Whereas somebody that comes from like the posher parts of London, that we don't talk to them.
No, they're no money.
They're not real people.
No. Yeah, the hyacinth bouquet brigade, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, like for you and me, a tenner's to spend on fags. Not really, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
To people like you and I, whereas to somebody from the posh part of London, a tenner's what you just roll up to. You know where that's going.
Yeah.
We'll leave it there. Water.
Yeah,
Big
they like
pink
their
straw.
cigars with £20 notes, don't they?
I'm still full screen. Look, the entire world is looking down my big pink straw.
I know. The infamous pink straw of goodness.
Big pink straw. Capital B, capital P, capital S, TM on the end. All capitalised. Thank you very much. I'm happy just to read the chat now while you carry on. So I shall chat down for you.
Yeah, I'm just gluing a couple of bits of gunnage on because I've gone for a slight change of plan.
Glue your bits. Go full screen and show us what you're doing, dude. When you're not
I shall do in a sec.
I built 2 dudes. That's me. I'm spent now. So.
Because I am going to...
Oh, hello, matron. Oh, got tasted like... Ooh.
I'm going to add all the guns and gizmos and all of that lot. So I might be going slightly off-pissed.
I know you mispronounced that, but we like it the way it was.
Did I?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Off-piste, dear.
Yeah, that's the one.
I know what you meant. I bet you're going to put them flaps on the wings open, aren't you?
I did have them open, but I pulled them off because I've stuck guns on there.
Oh, good lad.
Because
I was going to say, if you were going to put them on, it's best to leave them not glued on anyway, so you can paint inside. But you glued them guns on.
Yeah, I thought it could do with some guns, mate.
Yeah. Is that thing sticking out the co-pilot? That's a shield generator, isn't it? I think. That big spiky thing that sticks out the middle.
I think so. Yeah.
I think it's a shield thing. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah. It's.
You know what it needs between the sticky out shield bits, though? Oh, you know what you need to put on that?
Sail?
No. It's an absolute candidate for like lots of antenna wires, easy line antenna wires.
Ah, right. I am listening, honest, mate.
And then on the antenna wire, you have like some underwear hanging, some smalls and a blanket, maybe.
Yeah, I'm just figuring out where they go. They're in there somewhere.
Yeah, can't wait to see what you've done. Have a quick look at chat. I shall look after chat for you.
Yeah, I'm just figuring out where they glue onto.
Lynn Dipple says, no, not the big pink straws.
No,
There's only one big pink straw. That's the problem. I've only got one big pink straw, so I haven't washed this in about a week. All I can do is rinse it out. Because of my teeth, I need to drink cold drinks through a straw. It sounds really stupid.
It's teeth.
It is.
Teeth with an F.
With an F. So I have to just rinse it out. I can't be without it.
Right. Okay.
So I need to order some big pink straws. Lynn Dipple's put a link to the Ork starter set.
Cheers, Lynn.
But that's on the US Amazon. Start collecting. 99. I wonder if you can get it in the UK. That's $99 US. So I would say
there's a distinct possibility that it's still available.
I'll have a look on Goblinius.
Because I saw one on Goblin the other day for about 57 quid, but I don't know what it was.
Let's have a look. Because if I'm just checking now, let's have a look. Start collecting. Start collecting Skinks. Start collecting Soulblight, Daughters of Cain, Gene Stealer Cults. That's not them. Why not just type in Orks? Start collecting Orks. Because they're basically phasing out the start collecting sets and replacing them with the combat patrols, which are more expensive. Because it's the new 9th edition. The start collecting doesn't really work anymore.
It's a shame, isn't
it? Start collecting. No, they haven't got it at Goblin. But they're like 48 quid now. Gene Stealers, Vanguard. It's basically whatever they've got left. Which is not, sadly, Orks.
But it'd fit.
It's actually a lot of. Oh, hang on! Start collecting Orks. 44 quid. Stock coming. He says.
Yeah.
So they do have the start collecting Orks set. I'm tempted by Orks, you know.
That's the one I might have been looking at. It's got a load of little dudes and a big thing.
That one.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, these little dudes, they're all big size Orks, and that one is the guy in the back. The
that's knob. In my might be in my basket.
Get it out because it says it's coming soon. Do you know? See, I've not got an all common, but for 44 quid, I'd be tempted to get one of them.
Yeah.
Knowing that they'll soon be out of print one day, and it'll be a combat patrol at 80 quid.
Body build. Oh, body build.
The only thing is, I can't use my own Goblin Gaming link.
I can. And I can get 2 sets, can't I?
No, let me give you the money.
Yeah.
I could do that.
Yeah,
you just want to do a buddy build. Yeah.
No, not at all. It's just if you want a set, you get a set, don't you?
Well, I'm thinking it's a bit of a steal. I mean, I might start building up some Orc stuff because I did enjoy painting the pilot and the co-pilot in that Dakar jet.
Yeah, my Dakar jet may have had the nippers and the saw out just now, but it's for good reasons.
Too bad Goblin don't ship to the US.
I don't know. I don't know whether they do or not.
They might do. I don't know. Dibba-dibba-dib-doo. Dibba-dibba-dib-doo. I mean, I can only suggest that you get an order in a basket and try checking out, and if they do ship to the US, it'll be there, an option. It might not be cheap, but they might ship to the US. I'm pretty sure they'll ship to most places.
I'm sure they said they shipped to the US. I think them old flats could be used to open up somewhere else.
Yeah, let's have a look in Goblin Gaming shipping. Shipping costs. Goblin Gaming shipping returns.
I think they do, Lynn. I'm sure they do. Pardon
me. Due to Brexit, we are not currently shipping outside of the UK. Okay. So that'll be a no then, right at the moment.
Yeah,
I guess they'll be waiting for various things to be in place. They used to ship to the US. I know they won't ship things like aerosols because that's kind of obvious.
Well, it's all the different tariffs because we had it recently where, I've been trying to send stuff stateside for a little while now. And some things you can ship out at a favourable rate, and other things they're like, really? I mean, I know someone who was quoted nearly $200 to send 2 model kits to the UK.
Yeah,
that's just insane.
Yeah, it's just while there's no proper fixed agreements and stuff and tariffs in place, it's going to be all over the place. I think a lot of retailers will be waiting till all that's sorted, and then they can, once there's proper trade agreements and stuff in place, they can start.
Yeah.
They can start sorting that out. But right now, it'll be a case that it costs them so much to ship stuff outside the UK that's just not worth it.
Absolutely.
And the other problem, of course, is if they're shipping stuff that's not made in the UK, then it gets even more confusing. Right, let's go full screen, Colin, see what you've done.
My Wazbomb's got guns on it, Fox. It's got a few guns already.
Sun's out, guns out.
It's got guns.
Oh, look at that! It's got the big grabby laser thing at the bottom.
It's got guns. It's got guns. It's got
guns.
Additional bangage and shovelage, eh?
I will warn you now, those two flaps at the back, those two air brakes that stick out the side of the fuselage, you'll snap them off at least 3 times.
Oh, yeah. Bound to.
Absolutely.
But, yeah, it's had a start. I've got bombs to add yet.
Oh, yeah, all the bombs.
All the bombs. You want all the bombs, do you?
I would not glue the bombs on, though.
Oh, no, I'm going to paint them off of it.
Yeah, because a lot of them will have... If you're doing it proper orc style, you'll want checkers on them.
Yes.
And trust me, painting checkers on a bomb that's glued on the wing, yeah, don't do it.
Well, yeah, that's it. And it was, yeah.
Oh, I've just noticed that big-ass motorbike on there. That looks gorgeous. Bring that into shot. I've not had a proper look at this.
What's that, mate?
That big motorbike that's not actually on the end of your desk.
Oh, sorry. This is the bike that inspired Cheatgate.
Yeah, the one that you haven't finished yet. But
Yeah.
Look at that. That's beautiful.
That's the one that Ted gave me a ding for.
Ding.
Yeah, it's got
It's worth a ding.
It's got his leather seat.
That's some beautiful paintery on there, dude.
Okay.
So you could do a good paint job when you put your mind to it, can't you?
Yeah, I'll try, mate.
And there's you worrying about your Baneblade, and then look at that.
It's not my best work, but it's, yeah.
It's not my best work, he says, holding up a beautifully painted,
Yeah. But
beautifully pre-shaded, nicely subtly weathered, lovely leatherwork motorbike. Shut up. Don't be doing this humble bullshit.
yeah.
Humble brags.
Yeah, that's the motorbike.
That's
I've got another one of these coming with the sidecar.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm going to be doing that as well. And then, of course, you got the 432 that's been mentioned.
432 was mentioned.
Going on.
What scale is that motorbike?
That's a 1/9 scale.
That's almost the same scale as my Dodge Charger. Almost. Can you get 1/9 figures?
I have now because I've just done some custom figures that I'm going to 3D resin print.
Oh, cool. I wouldn't want to get an Italeri figure because they don't like Revell. They don't understand. How
No, I managed to source some SGL files that are 35th scale.
Yeah,
but I've been able to scale them right up and
sorted.
You know, so the motorbike and sidecar is going to have a special treat. But yeah, it's one of them. That's the British Triumph 3HW. And the other one I've got coming is the German motorcycle and sidecar. So yeah,
is that a BMW by any chance?
I think it might well be, mate. Yeah.
Bavarisch Motorwerk.
So yeah, I'm looking forward to doing it. I mean, like I say, you know, it's.
Will that be another buddy build?
Yeah, it's Dad's ordered one as well because we managed to score them for a decent price.
Oh, nice one.
So yeah, it just keeps the shows going on a Monday, doesn't it? And
so everybody I've ever heard from says that Italeri motorbike is a piece of crap. But how come you and Dad found it actually to be all right?
Because we just applied ourselves to it. That sounds very big-headed. Please don't think that's what I mean. It's got its fit issues. It's got its horrible seams. But you know what it's like with Gundam. If you want to make a seam disappear, you put the effort in to make it disappear, don't you?
Yeah. Is it basically it's actually an all right kit as long as you put a bit of work in to clean up the rough spots?
It's an all right kit, and very minimal work was needed to clean up the rough spots. If I'm honest, mate.
Unlike a Revell kit, which isn't an all right kit to start with, and is actually garbage.
I would say that was the best Italieri kit I've ever built, and I've done a few. So if anyone's thinking of getting it, get it. There's a few people out there that have built it that say it's a dog. No, it's not.
Is that just because they don't want to fill a few seams here and there?
I think so, yeah. To be honest with you, I mean, a couple of hours on the fuel tank and the seam was gone, you know.
Because the thing is, it's like I know I sit here and I slag off Revell kits quite a lot, and I know they can make good kits. Yeah. But I look at it two different ways. There's a kit that you build that needs some remediation work. You know, filling a few seam lines here and there, that's not a problem. You know, if it's not Warhammer or Gunpla, then I expect to fill some seam lines. I expect to have some gaps. But when you get to like a crappy artillery kit or a crappy Revell kit where it's like nothing fits, everything's warped, the seam lines are there and ridiculous, then that's taking it too far. So I always thought it was one of those like it's more than a bit of work needed. It's an absolute garbage kit.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, if I say, for instance, I do a video series and I've done a Tamiya bike, and it's gone together beautifully. I like then to find the scabbiest Revell or Retaliary kit on the market and buy it.
Oh yeah,
just to challenge myself, just so that I don't get complacent. May sound really weird, but
no,
you know, it's like when I did the 124th Huey with Dave. Everyone said it was the worst kit Revell ever made, and yet we both fell in love with it.
Yeah, it's like I mean, I'm kind of, I know where you're coming from, but I'm the opposite. I like to find kits that require no remedial work and stay there because I'm lazy as fuck. But it's just the way
I like a good challenge. I've just been out and bought the Revell 747 with the space shuttle on top.
Oh God,
it's up there as one of their worst kits ever because it's the space shuttle, which is a dog, and the 747, which is a dog.
No, this is the difference, because you being a builder and me being not a builder at all. I always say I'm a painter, not a builder. So to me, the challenge is in the painting. A building challenge to me doesn't interest me at all. I still
get it with the Concorde. I did the infamous Revell 1/72 scale Concorde. And due to licensing, they put the front wheel a lot further forward so that they didn't have to pay a license, because it was a facsimile, not an identical replica, should we say.
Yeah. Did they not put the big name Concorde on the box there?
Yeah, but they did it in quite a bizarre Revell type of way.
Okay.
But anyway, there was enough, how can we say, differences between what Concorde looked like and this model for it to be, you know. Most people's introduction to my channel was me looking at it going, that wheel's in the wrong place, getting the saw out and cutting the whole front of the plane off. Rearranging everything and chopping it to pieces to move the wheel where it should be and putting it all back together. And that's how people got to know me, you know. But
see, you relish that kind of stuff. So you will happily take the building challenge, whereas because I'm a painter and building is just an evil that I have to go through.
Yeah.
I don't see that as a challenge. I see that as, why the hell would I want to do that?
Well, it's like Baneblade. When I did that, I knew in the head what I wanted to achieve, and it was laying out everything that was plastic and trying to roughly put it in place to see what needed to be removed. And then the saw came out, and you do reach that point in a kit where you look at it and you think, I've cut more off this kit than I've glued on it. And it gets weaker and weaker every time you cut a chunk out of it.
Yeah.
And then suddenly you start gluing it together, and your dream or your imagination is now becoming a reality. And that for me is the buzz with it. That's why I do it.
But that's where I'm different. Like I said, that's why I understand, but I shy away from. I wouldn't want to do a crap kit after doing a good kit. I just want to do more good kits, because to me, the building is, apart from Games Workshop, which I don't see as a chore, apart from Games Workshop, the building is just something I have to get done as quickly as possible and out of the way to get to the fun bit. So extra stuff like having to fill things and it really does not interest me at all.
This is where I was glad doing the Warhammer stuff. It was kind of refreshing to do the Italieri bike, because I thought, well, the Warhammer's been going together really well. And it's you know what it's like, it's flawless, isn't it?
I wouldn't say flawless.
So I still have to wet the palette, don't I? I still have to go back to basics, just not get complacent.
Well, the thing is, because you enjoy that part of the process, that's the bit that's where you get your dopamine rush, or partly where you get a dopamine rush. So you'll want to do that. You'll want to have that. I don't. I get the dopamine rush from getting it done.
You know, it's.
There is a question for you, by the way.
What's that, mate?
Edward Leonard says, have you got to finish the Valentino Rossi 1/4 scale yet? I hope you have, because it's been too long.
I wish.
Is that the part work?
Yeah, I wish I could say yes, but I'm still waiting on the final deliveries, mate. They've been in touch, you know, the usual, due to the ongoing pandemic. So It's out of my hands at the moment. It's still in Italy, mate. And when I get it, it's if they haven't had people or they've had people furloughed out there that make this stuff and pick and pack it and send it to you, there's nothing I can do. So as soon as it arrives, it'll be built, mate.
Are you on the just you get one for each month, or is it you've been buying it in like chunks?
Buying it in chunks, mate.
So you get like 4 boxes of.
Yeah, I get four lots at a time.
Okay.
So I'm waiting on the last 4 lots basically, and then I'll just binge build the lot then.
What's 4 lots? Like 20 issues or?
Yeah, about 20 issues. Yeah.
That's right. Cool. I didn't realize they did that. I know Diag you can do it all in one go or the part.
Yeah. When I did the subscription, I just do it in blocks of, just worked out okay. But then COVID it, didn't it? And everything's gone tits up, isn't it? But
yeah, I reckon you're probably fine because I've obviously got the X-Wing and that's coming through okay. So I reckon with your Rossi bike, that's probably some of the parts are sourced from outside the UK.
Yes.
Whereas the X-Wing, perhaps either they've got a big stock of them or they're all sourced from within.
Well, because it's Rossi as well, it's all done via Italy, isn't it? Because that's where the R46 is and all of that. And
well, I don't know where they'd have the manufacturing done, but it depends who's making it.
Yeah, so that's pretty much where I'm at with it. I've got the whole front end built, the engine's in the frame. Literally, I'm waiting for the swing arm so I can fit the rear wheel, and it's just going to be the rest of the fairing. So there's not a lot I need, but it's pretty much everything to make the bike look like a bike.
I got the first wheel attached to the chassis on my Dodge Charger today.
Yeah.
Dear Lord, that was fiddly. If like you building this bike, you probably know how it all goes together anyway in the real thing. So
yes.
I'm trying to build this suspension system on this wheel. It's like I don't understand any
of course, you're going in blind, aren't you? Yeah, I'm lucky being an ex-bike owner. You get to know where sort of bits and bobs go, but
I did get to use the phrase knuckle arm. I appreciated being able to use the phrase knuckle arm.
Oh, did you? Yeah, you've been doing the knuckle joints on the suspension, have you?
Oh yeah. Well, I built the wheel and I've got the little wishbone bit that goes onto the wheel, and I had the fun of the spring in the piston, shock piston.
Oh, yeah. Did it? How far did it get?
Well, it's a really not springy spring. So
yeah. Edward saying, sorry, Festa, I wish you could get... Mate, you don't have to apologise, dude. It's not an issue. I'm cool with it. It's one of those that I know it's coming, and when it comes, I'll sit and build it, mate. And then I can do brum brum noises all round my bench, mate, because I will.
I reckon that different ones come from different different countries, because I know for some of the part works, you'll see them like released in some territories first.
Yeah, this one was released in Italy and then Japan and then
so it's probably all the manufacturing and stock is sourced from there, which is why you're not getting it. Yeah. Whereas the X-Wing came out here first.
Yeah.
No, actually, sorry, no, it came out in the US first. And then it came out here, and then it came out in the EU and Australasia.
Yeah.
So it's probably manufactured here. That's why we're still getting the X-Wing.
Yeah. The Rossi was Italy, Japan, and the Far East, and I think it was America, and then EU and UK. So, it's a bizarre way it's been done, but it's Yamaha in it and all of that. So,
well, it's not so much of what it is; it's just more a case of because D'Agostini is a global
thing so now. Yeah,
they'll manufacture them in different territories. If they're going to release one in Italy first, they'll manufacture it.
I'd recommend it to anyone. I think Edward Leonard's built one himself, and it is, as you know, because you're doing your Dodge Charger, they're beautifully made. A lot of people moan about the cost, but when you figure out how much work goes into it and the size of the product you're getting, it's worth it. I think it is anyway.
Yeah, I mean it's. You look at these things and it's like if you were to you look at 1/35th model of Dora's £500.
Yes.
And that's 1,000 parts.
Yeah.
Most part works have more parts than that, and they're twice the size, and it's spread out over the cost of 2 years anyway.
Well, this is it. This is now gone on. I'm in my 3rd year with it, but don't forget we had a year where nothing was happening. So And they've been brilliant all the way through. You know, the correspondence. I can't fault it. You know, they're.
I mean, the best way to think of it with these Powerworks is, like Chris said in a comment today in Facebook, he said, it's like just a bit more than £1 a day.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, or it's half the cost of going to the pub once.
It's less than what I used to spend each month on smoking.
Yeah. Like, you know, it might work out at like 35, 40 quid a month for your 4 part work issues. You'd spend twice that on one night out in the pub. So just go out for one night less and you've got yourself a part work.
Yeah.
It's
I mean, I couldn't afford to buy more at the moment because you know, I haven't got the finances, but you know, it's just one of them. There are others I've seen that I've got an eye on, but
I mean, they'll always be there. But that's the one thing is though that sometimes it sounds harsh to say it, but you have to sit there and say, this is an expensive, whatever you make, whether it's a part work or Warhammer or Revell or whatever you're going to make, doesn't matter. It's an expensive hobby.
Of course it is.
And you to a certain degree, it can be taken the wrong way to say it, but it's hard to say that something's too expensive when it's an expensive hobby to start with.
Well, this is it. It's that classic word, hobby. You can have two sanders, one for fingernails, and one's got the word hobby sander for scale models. Which one do you think is going to cost more? We all know.
I can't walk into a Ferrari showroom and complain that the Ferraris are far too expensive because my car's worth £2,000.
Yeah.
Then the simple thing is, if I can't afford a Ferrari, I don't buy a Ferrari.
Absolutely. So, you know, you dare I say you get what you pay for, don't you?
Yeah. It's so if you know if it frustrates me a bit when people say this is far too expensive, this is ridiculous money. It's like, yeah, but you get out what you put into it, and if you I don't want to say if you can't afford it, don't do it, because that's wrong. No, but it's the people that say the prices are obscene. It's like, no, the prices are fine. It's just it's not a cheap hobby.
The one that gets my goat, limited budget. Well, you know, it's not fair. They got all the detail up, blah, 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 and I ain't got the money. Well, I'm sorry, but that's not that person's fault. I've always said if someone can afford to go out and buy a kit and then spend money on detail up and photos, good luck to them.
Yeah, brilliant.
Good luck to them is all I say, because fair play. If that's what they want to do with their money, it's their kit and do what they like with it.
Yeah.
Just because I can't afford to do that, why should I be bitter and nasty towards people that can? I don't see the point of that.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's a case of, you know, you have to approach it from the point of it is an expensive, or it can be an expensive hobby. It can be a cheap hobby as well.
Yeah.
It's not a case of if you can't afford it, go home. That's not what I'm trying to say. What I'm trying to say is you have to accept that, like anything in life, there's the cheap end and there's the prestige end.
Yes.
In the same way, my car's worth 45 quid and a Ferrari's worth £200,000. Yeah. I can't then complain because someone can afford to spend £200,000 on a car that I can't afford.
Yeah.
They might have worked hard for that money and they can spend
good luck
it however the hell they want. Yeah. Yeah. And it gets frustrating. It used to get frustrating, like you'll know, on the Monday show, on E-Model show, when we'll showcase some kits and there'll be like a £10 Airfix weekend build. And there'll be a 500 quid. There'll be the £250.
Oh, man, the stick we've had for that. And it's like, do you realise? Well, at the end of the day, there are people out there that would like to buy that particular kit. So this is the thing with the E-Models gig, is we're trying to cater for every level.
Well, it's not even that. At the end of the day, we're doing a show for a retailer.
Yes.
They sell products that range from pounds to hundreds of pounds.
Yeah.
We're not doing a budget product show. We're doing a show showcasing things they sell.
Absolutely.
And if they sell expensive stuff, we show expensive stuff. If we show cheap stuff, we show cheap stuff.
Oh yeah, I mean we've all swooned over kits that we've seen up there for £1,000, and it's like £1,000. That's extortionate. But then when you look at it and open it up and look at what's inside, you're like, well, that would be a kit. That would be a kit. That would be a kit.
It's like imagine it was a live show for a jeweler.
Yeah.
And we're saying, here's this ring for £5, here's this watch for 25 quid, now here's this ring for £4,500. You can't complain because they sell a range of products and they don't just sell cheap stuff or expensive, they sell all kinds of stuff. And we're not aiming it at the budget and we're aiming it at customers. We're aiming
Yeah.
at people who want to, buy things from e-models, and they could be
Oh,
poor or rich.
absolutely. I mean, if
It
we was
frustrates
to
me
sit
sometimes.
down and price up everything in our man cave, we'd shit ourselves,
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
wouldn't we? Because something as simple as that still accumulates. The more bottles you've got, it all adds up. But then you look at your airbrushes, your compressors, your simple cutting mats, and then, webcams, microphones. Look at what we've had to invest in just to live stream. StreamYard each month is a cost. We all pay it.
But that's what I'm saying. It's like I'm desperate to make sure people don't realise I'm not just saying if you can't afford it, go away.
Not at all.
If you can't afford it, you can still do it, but it's just you can't. It's not then right to kvetch about people that can afford.
Well, this is it. I mean, you're the same as me. Both of us don't work for one reason or another, so we're heavily reliant on our super chats, our YouTube channel memberships, our patron support, and we are immensely grateful for each and every penny we receive, because without that, we wouldn't be able to do this.
Yeah, exactly.
If I hadn't have had so much support off of patrons and people taking up, joining me channel, and mate, I'd be knackered. I wouldn't be doing anything at the moment. I certainly wouldn't be building the Wazbomb.
No, exactly.
And the Warhammer that we're doing. This stream wouldn't have been able to happen because I didn't have the money to go and buy Warhammer kits. It's what I get each month from my patron supporters. So
exactly. And I mean, I'll be brutally honest and say, even though right now I've got my patrons and my super chats and stuff and my memberships, I'm seriously struggling right now. So I'm at the point where I'm like, I might need to get a job to afford to live, because it's. But then again, maybe it'll turn around. I don't know. So
this is the thing, none of us know. I mean,
no, nobody knows what's going on.
This is why I'm hoping the working from home thing might take off, because then I could be able to earn an income. But at the moment, it's doing this. It's doing 3D print commissions and things like that, because it all all pays the bills, doesn't it?
Yeah. I mean, I lost quite a lot of patrons through the last year, just because of people suddenly found they didn't have a job, or they had less money.
People got furloughed, and that's totally understandable.
It screwed me backwards, because I know I'm on half what I was before, and I'm barely struggling to get by. So but I can't sit there and do a video saying, "Please give me Patreon," because people don't have the money. So
because we're all, I know, we're all struggling. I know you mock me for my lack of pimping and being terribly British, but for a reason as well. Because at the moment, it just doesn't sit right, does it? It doesn't feel right when we're saying to people, help us out, because everyone's struggling at the moment. Yeah. And this is why, like when Wayne did his super chat earlier, I'm immensely humbled by that, because
absolutely.
People are giving you money out of their own pocket to help you out, and it is very humbling. It really is.
Oh yeah, I mean,
every penny gets put to good use.
Yeah, and all of us, none of us take that for granted at all. Whether it's a tenner, even if it's like £1 super chat, that's still £1 super chat.
Yeah, I'd rather have 100 members on my channel at £1 a month. It's for me. It's that every little penny counts. I mean, and it is. I like to think if I had 1,000 patrons all at £1 a month, I'd be sorted. I don't think I'll ever get to that I don't drink, I don't smoke. Every penny that I make off of Patreon goes into this. And it's the standing joke with my Warhammer basket. It's everything's in the wish list and basket until I get paid off the patron, and that's what the money goes to then enable me to sit and do Frolic Wiv Foxx and Warhammer Sunday stuff.
There is one advantage to this hobby, though, that other hobbies might not give you, and that is, if you're somebody who is, struggling for money, if money is a thing, you've not got a lot of money, you don't have a big budget, you can't afford, the big expensive kits.
Yes.
The beauty of it is that you can actually still take part in this hobby on a tiny budget. Oh, there's a thing from
I know, I've just seen it pop up there. Thank you very much, Nim Sindarin Studios now, by the way.
Oh, Studios.
She's become a YouTube member. Thank you very, very much, Nim. You'll be added to my credits And if you aren't already a mod, you will imminently be a mod, because all my patrons and channel members immediately get added as a moderator.
Yep.
So you'll find now when you type in chat, not only have you got a little symbol next to your name, but you'll have a spanner.
Spanner.
Thank you very, very much, Nim. It's massively
Nice
appreciated.
One. Yeah, so even if you're on like a small budget, there's still fun to be had. You know, it might be that you can't afford, say, you might not be able to afford 150 quid perfect grade Gundam or a £250 Ford GT40 kit. But you might be able to afford like a little Warhammer kit of 10 Cadians for like a tenner.
Yeah.
And a few simple paints.
Yeah.
Now, it may not be like a big impressive model, but you can still, if you get yourself a few paints and some simple brushes and stuff, you can still spend many happy hours building those little dudes and painting them.
Well, this is it. I mean,
and, you know, you can get stuff off eBay. So there's a lot of hobbies where if you haven't got the money, you're out. But at least with this hobby, you can spend very little and still you can, you know, whether you're painting an expensive kit or just one simple little Warhammer dude, it's still the fun is the painting or the building. It's
absolutely.
not
I mean,
how much you spent on it. So
I got a AdSense payment from YouTube, and went out and treated myself to the set of Broken Toads.
Very nice.
For painting the miniatures, painting me figure painting, and yeah, you know, so that I
will be watching you like a shite hawk to see how you treat those brushes. And if you maltreat those brushes, I will find you and I will kill you.
No, that won't happen. You should know me better than that.
I know, but I've known Chris long enough that I get twitchy around other people's brushes.
Oh really? No, bloody hell, mate. Come on, mate.
I've been around
I field strip an airbrush when I use it, so you can imagine what I'm like with paintbrushes.
I've been around Chris and Ted far too long.
No, I have my workhorse paintbrushes, which are cheaps.
Yeah.
Anything that is a named brush is like Excalibur, mate.
Oh yeah.
You know, so no, you don't have. You honestly think I'm going to use pigment and PV8 with a set of Broken Toads?
I've been hanging around Chris and Ted far too long, so I get suspicious of everybody until they prove me wrong. But that's the thing with this hobby. Even if you're on a limited budget, you can still get a model and you can still get the paints and stuff, and you know some paints, and you can still have fun. Whether you're building like I say, a £10 Airfix weekend, 50-year-old moulding terrible airplane with a handful of paints, or you've got yourself a little Games Workshop thing, or you've got yourself a high-grade Gunpla, or you've spent 300 quid on an Eagle transporter. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
The person painting the big expensive Eagle is still having the same amount of fun as the person who's got a little Airfix Triumph Herald and is doing their best work, putting their heart and soul into painting it.
Absolutely. Retro Rabbit says he's got a set of Emil Squigmar Kickstarter brushes and he's scared to use them.
Yeah, that's Squidmar Miniatures, isn't it? The YouTube channel does his own brushes.
Lynn's saying astronomy is very expensive. A scope cost her £4,000 and the eyepieces are £1,000. Yeah, my eldest boy, he's got a scope that the camera goes onto and all of that lot, and costs him a small fortune. But
see, that's what I'm saying though. Some hobbies, you've got to put the money in right from the start.
Yeah,
you can use binoculars to look at the stars, but you're limited. So you know, something like astronomy, if you can't afford it, you ain't doing it. Whereas something like model making, if you can't afford it, you just don't do the expensive stuff. You do the cheap stuff instead until you can afford the expensive stuff.
This is where the Warhammer stuff that, you know, we all joke that I'm down the hole and that, but it's, for me, it's diversifying the channel now because it's monetized. You know, you've got room for that. You need to explore. You know what it's like with your own channel. You was known for doing Gundam, but you still have to branch out into other things, don't you? Because you're trying to grow an audience at the end of the day.
I actually am not beholden to any one style of thing at all. I just, from doing this for 40 years, I know I have to go where my interest is.
Yes.
I have to not give a damn what the people want to watch me do, because if I do what people want me to do, I won't enjoy it and I'll get bored and I'll get frustrated and I'll just ditch the whole thing. I have to go where my whims take me, because if I get bored, I ditch it and I can't afford to do that. So if my whims take me from Gunpla to Warhammer, then it's frustrating for people that want me to do Gunpla, but I can't ignore what my brain tells me to do.
No, that's
I'm
right.
sure I'll go back when I get the itch to do more Gunpla. I'll do more Gunpla. But if
It's
every one
what
of my
floats our boat, isn't it, at the time?
yeah, if every one of my viewers turned around and said, "I need you to start doing tanks," I'd be like, "Well, I'm sorry, I'm not going to do tanks because I don't want to do tanks right now. I'm doing spaceships, or I'm doing wildlife whatever I'm doing. I have to do what I want to do.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's not fun and it's not.
Well, this is why we all stopped commission work, innit?
Oh, God, yeah.
It's got its place. I mean, I'm more doing commission 3D prints at the moment than work. I've got a couple of commissions that I need to ship out, but that'll be it then. What, the 3D print one? Yeah, it's the secret
super
one.
secret one.
But
Lynn says
go on.
I was going to say, Lynn says it's just taken her 10 years to buy a case for the scope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But she'll appreciate.
Oh, absolutely. But that's the thing, that kind of hobby, like Lynn will know full well, that kind of hobby, you don't go into it not knowing that it's going to be expensive, not knowing that you're going to have to save up for years to get the things you need. You know that from the start, because that really is either pay for it or go home. It's afford it or don't.
Yeah.
You can't get into astronomy and then complain that you've got to spend $5,000 on a telescope. It's like, well, you know that because that's how much these things cost.
Cool, minute, yeah.
So that's the kind of thing where, you are going to get the enjoyment because right from the start you're going to save for it for years. So when you do get that scope or that case or that, that reflecting lens or whatever, you're going to really enjoy it because you've saved and worked hard to get it.
This is the thing, we appreciate each and everything we have. I mean, I'm known because I field strip an airbrush every time I use it. People find that strange. They're like, "Oh, why don't you just clean it out? Bung a bit of airbrush cleaner for it." It's force of habit. I used to paint for a living, so my airbrushes at the end of my working day were field strip. You'll know this because you've done detailing and painting.
Oh yeah, if you've worked if you worked in a spray booth spraying bikes or cars in real life, you absolutely have to take your DeVille spray gun apart.
Yeah. Every nut, bolt, and washer comes out of it. All the O-rings, everything. It's just how I am.
And if you've ever been the person that does that as the assistant to the person doing all the painting, then when you get a bollocking for not doing it right, you have to get it right.
Yeah.
Now I'm not that bad with my airbrush because I've got bad memories of that time. So, but yeah, I don't do a field strip, but I do take the cup off, take the needle out, and clean it all down, and occasionally I'll take the head unit off as well and get that out. But every time I finish, I'll do a proper clean out. But
even them bad boys, they get field stripped.
I've never taken
trigger
the
comes out the whole lot because
I've never taken the trigger out of mine because I'm far too scared. But Nim says, "I'm like you, Fox. My interests tend to flit about, but I do tend to fall back on a few." The best hobby of all, if you're on a really tight budget, the absolute best hobby, if you want to be creative, is drawing.
Yeah.
Because the absolute bare minimum for doing art is a pencil and a piece of paper.
Mm.
And then you've got something to draw.
Yeah.
So the absolute best hobby. Creative hobbies are always the best ones because creative hobbies can be done on a shoestring budget.
Absolutely.
Art, get some crayons, get some felt tips, get some paper and a pen. You've spent £5. Music, well, that's a bit more expensive, I suppose, but you can still write music.
Yeah.
Not that cheap. Model making, you can buy a cheap model and get some cheap paints. You can do something. You can
absolutely.
You can do like Steve. You can get household trash and build a spaceship.
Yeah.
You don't even have to buy a kit. You can get yogurt pots and bits and bobs and deodorant sticks, and you've made a rocket ship. There you go. So most creative endeavours, you can go from a shoestring budget, and that's the beauty of things like crafty stuff like this and crafts and things. You don't have to spend a fortune if you want to tickle that itch, scratch that itch.
That's the thing. Yeah, we've accumulated our equipment over many years. I mean, I've been doing this since I was 9 years old.
Oh yeah, up until recently, I had Tamiya paints that I bought in the early 90s and late 1980s. I still got them. And now they're at Dad's house because he took them off me. Dad's not Scaly Models has got those now, but there were paints in there going back to the late 80s, and I'm still using them. So, it would be I'd be worried to work out how much this is all actually worth, all my stuff. But it's built up over years.
Yeah, it is one of those when you redo your house insurance, you sit there and you think, holy moly, yeah, where do I start? And yeah.
Lynn says that's why she sketches what she sees through the eyepiece. She can't afford the CCD cameras.
Yeah.
Well, that's exactly what astronomers did till the CCD cameras. So
Absolutely.
there's a fine tradition going back many hundreds of years of actually drawing what you can see.
Yeah.
That's, you're going all the way back to, not Leeuwenhoek, that was microscopes. You're going all the way back to, Galileo.
Galileo.
You're going back to Hooke. You're going back to Copernicus.
Sagan was like that, wasn't he? He used to draw a lot, didn't he, of different...
No, Patrick Moore did.
Patrick Moore
Moore did an entire book on the moon. But it's only up until, the 70s and 80s people started actually using, proper non-professional started doing actual astrophotography. Up until then, that was the professionals. Everybody else just drew what they saw. So there's nothing wrong with that. But that's a fine, honourable tradition of drawing, astro sketching, I suppose you'd call it. It's not astrophotography, so... I always wanted a telescope. Space fascinates me.
Oh, mate, I love it. I love, especially all the SpaceX stuff that's doing the rounds at the moment with all the different craft that are getting developed. It just fascinates me. Watching them things coming in and landing themselves after boosting up a load of satellites. I love that.
It's so 1950s. It's so retro.
Oh, it's great. Brilliant, isn't it? I love it.
I have to admit, I don't like Musk's spaceship, though. I don't like his... big silver rocket with. I don't like it. It looks.
It's from an old 40s, 50s scary.
It's Flash Gordon
movie. Yeah,
it just doesn't look like it's going to survive anything because it looks cobbled. I don't know. I just don't like it. I don't like it at all. It's not got any wow factor. It's just like I don't know. It's not cool looking. It's cool, but it's not. No.
Hey, mate, when that's on top of a Falcon 9 Heavy, mate, full of people, I can imagine it's going to be quite a thing.
But it's like you see it and it's all there, it's just bare aluminium and steel, and you're like, yeah, but you can see all the hammer marks. It's like, oh, God.
Yeah, but it's a test craft at the moment, isn't it? That's what it is. It's a sacrificial. It's going to look a bit scabby and a bit.
No, I think that's actually what it looks like. End of. I think that's what it's actually going to look like. So I don't know.
Yeah, I think you might want to look at some of the concept art.
Yeah. Retro Rabbit says, just to blow out our expensive hobbies, I'm coming up on my midlife crisis and the only thing I have left is either yachting or flying. Lols, not doing either. Yeah, it's kind of a bit of a high bar.
He should chat to Pete, mate, with his yacht hair. Nim's got a good one. She says to Lynn, you should post some of your space drawings for us to see. Yeah, Lynn, do an album in the gallery, mate, and I'll pimp your work.
Yeah.
You know that, Lynn. You know me well enough, darling. I'll treat you with dignity. I always have done, love.
Yeah, she says, I'll see if I can, Nim.
Yeah.
On that note, there is a YouTube channel I can strongly recommend. If you have an interest in spacey things, let me try and find it.
Is this going to be one of your special Fox, don't Google this moments?
No. It's a great YouTube channel. I just can't remember what it's actually called. Let me just go to YouTube. Is it that one? Yes. Okay. There's a YouTube channel, and it's kind of confusing because for a while it was called What Da Math. Sorry, guys. Sorry, lads. Nice and neat line.
I'm impressed.
Look, they're carrying him off. Look.
And on the fourth day, Fox
carrying him away to
his army
to cut him down. Yeah, it was called What Da Math, but now it's just called Anton Petrov. Basically, he puts a video up every single day, and only 5 or 10 minutes long, and they talk about a new thing in usually in astronomy, but sometimes it's about other things as well. But he just sits there and explains stuff, and he's got a really kind of interesting voice, and he just explains things. It's usually about latest discoveries, and he's got some playlists that go on for like 22 hours. So when I'm playing No Man's Sky, I've got this in the background on constant loop. And he kind of quite a relaxing voice. He speaks quite quietly. So go and look up Anton Petrov, 814,000 subscribers. Go and look him up. If you like science, every day you'll get a video about science. And he always starts it with the, hello, wonderful person. In today's video, I love it. It's great. But Anton Petrov, go and check him out. It's a great little YouTube channel for sciencey stuff. Ow, Stabity. They got their own back. Bloody little poxwalkers.
Yeah, that's because you moved them unceremoniously with your tablet.
It was that little fucker there with this. Don't let me set Guthorm on your ass. He'll just kick your ass into next week.
Oh, bless you. I suppose on that note, being that it's up past 3, are you doing your Skyrim today, mate?
I'm hoping to. I've got 2 more episodes of the Dodge Charger to edit. So I'm hoping I can get at least one of them done before 3 o'clock tomorrow, in which case I shall do Skyrims.
What we'll do then is we'll branch off for the evening then and let you get some beauty sleep.
Yay! I need as much as I can get. I need lots of it, trust me on that.
Oh, bless you.
When it comes to beauty sleep, I need all of it.
Absolutely. So, so we'll call it a night, folks, and finish off with a big thank you to each and every one of you for coming in and keeping us 2 idiots company this evening. Means a hell of a lot. Pop over and see Fox this afternoon on the Skyrim Saturday.
Did you have to say this afternoon? That makes it sound like I've got even less time to sleep.
I know.
The thing is, I get a lie in on a Saturday morning because I don't get up till 11 o'clock, so I still get me 8 hours sleep. So
absolutely. And then I'll see you for a Sunday brunch with Dave on Sunday, and then with Fox for a Warhammer Sunday.
And then with Dad for Warhammer Sunday, and then...
with the in-between shows, and
You have a busy day on a Sunday, don't you?
Yeah, but I love it, mate.
How come you don't do anything on a Saturday?
Because I'm building up for Sunday.
Ah, you mean you have to do a wind up to get to Sunday?
Yeah, Saturday's my day off, mate.
Yeah.
People will get fed up with seeing me on streams all the time.
Shut up.
They?
Shut up. Stop doing that.
Yeah. Behave.
I tell you what, we haven't been near enough as stupid tonight as we usually are.
No, we've been quite professional. I think it's because we've been a bit hot under the collar, haven't we?
Yeah, it's been a bit sweaty and moist. I need to go and just demoist for about 10 minutes before I go to bed.
Yeah, I should be diving in for a nice ice cold shower.
Yeah, I can't be bothered doing that. I'm far too lazy. I think I'll just stand in the breeze for 5 minutes and then...
Please don't get caught standing in your garden in just your boxers at this time of day, because you may be arrested.
Oh, no, I wouldn't go outside. There's creatures out there. Don't go outside.
You princess, what are you like?
There's things moving about that you can't see. I don't like things that move where I can't see them.
The slugs are coming to get
Worms.
Worms.
I don't mind worms. I like worms. Worms are cool. Anyway,
right.
Yes.
Anyway, we'll catch you all later on.
Yep.
Thanks for tuning in. Take care. Stay safe. Spread the love. And we'll see you soon.
Adios, amigos, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.